today. So
we're
getting a
live.
shot of the front of the house.
Oh,
live.
I wasn't joking.
Wow.
Welcome
to my cup of tea.
I mean, if you'd like to tell your story.
That's what we call a cold open, everybody.
That's how you get the audience to keep going.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
Price of being late. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of My Cup of Tea. This is probably going to be the most casual podcast ever. Just telling that outset. But yeah, it's fun. But joining us as always, we have Egg Boy Carson.
It's been a day. I'm excited to talk about movies.
It's been a day. Slept for 6 hours, but it's been a day.
And yes, theaters are kind of presumably going to open back up here, and we're going to talk about that because there's some interesting things to go along with that, with the pandemic, and yeah, it's craziness still. So, and cases are spiking. So I wonder if it's even going to happen. But it looks like Mulan and Tenet are going to move forward. So we're going to talk about it.
So we got Evan.
Wow. Hello, everybody. How's it going? Super glad to be back. Seems like we haven't talked in like 2 weeks since we didn't do our last Hyperspace Hype podcast. But I'm glad to be back talking all things movies. It's really funny. Like I always compared it, the theaters trying to pick which movie studio to open first. It's kind of like that in kindergarten. Whenever the teacher's like, hey, you can be line leader, but nobody really wants to be line leader. It's really awkward. Nobody wants to be the first movie back. So can't wait to talk about that. And I have some new movies I saw this week. Can't wait to share my thoughts with you guys. Okay. What are you even drinking? Is that water?
It's just water, yeah.
I don't think it's water.
That was going to be the gag. But... Yep. Chewing ice, so can't talk clearly. What's up? So, yeah.
So casual.
Michael Keaton will apparently be returning to his Batman role within the DC universe in the Ezra Miller Flash film. I think, which is being helmed by Andy Muschietti, is it?
Andy Muschietti from It. Yeah.
Yes. So I'm happy about that. Yeah, this whole prospect is really interesting. What were your guys' initial thoughts when you heard this?
It was mostly shock because mostly over the weekend, Jeffrey Dean Morgan has some quotes with, I think it was comicbook.com, where he said that Flash people, or I think people at Warner Brothers or people at Flash, whatever, they were interested in having him be the Flashpoint Batman, which would make sense.
I think that's actually still on the table.
That's still on the table because it would be interesting to bring in multiple versions of Batman. Because I've heard other reports where it's like, no, okay, they're actually going to bring in Michael Keaton to be the one Batman usage that we get in the Flash, and he'll be like the old guy, and then they'll bring him back to our Earth, rather than showing Jeffrey Dean Morgan's version of Flashpoint Batman. And which in this case, people don't know, Flashpoint Batman with Jeffrey Dean Morgan would be where instead of Bruce Wayne getting killed, instead of Bruce Wayne's parents getting killed, in this version of Flashpoint, Bruce Wayne would get killed, and then Martha becomes the Joker of that universe, and then Thomas Wayne becomes Batman. But so I thought Jeffrey Dean Morgan thing was off the table, and they're just going to book Michael Keaton to be the Batman of this movie.
That's what I thought too, because I saw the report that someone that interviewed
Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Muschietti back in like September. When did it come out? September 2019.
Yeah,
right?
September. Yeah.
And I guess like off the record or something, he was asking about like, because this is right when he got signed on. Yeah, I can't remember. I think it was last fall when he got signed on, right around it came out. Then,
yeah.
And someone asked him about like doing Flashpoint and blah 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 and the Jeffrey Dean Morgan thing, and he's like, we have other ideas, obviously.
Interesting.
Coming to fruition now is the Michael Keaton thing, but the main thing for me is I don't think it's not one of those instances that bugs me that like, oh, we have to like build up 10 years of storytelling to do a flashpoint. Like that's not what bugs me. Like
I know exactly what you're thinking. Yeah.
I'm just interested to see how big this role. I don't think it's going to be huge, but I'm curious that like the first solo Flash movie is taking this route.
Yeah,
I'm with you, Carson. Because I think my first tweet was like, I'm excited to see Michael Keaton, of course, but ever since this whole Flash project got announced, outside, I think, of Rick Famuyiwa back like 3 years ago at this point, I think Rick Famuyiwa's version of Flash was going to be like more of in the style of Dope, his like grounded take with, I think, what are they called? The Rogues. The Rogues were going to be like the villains in his version. But ever since then, they've been moving towards this Flashpoint and idea. And I don't even know if I like that right now because we still don't know. Like, this thing is filming in Q1 2021. We don't know if Reverse Flash is going to be in this movie. They could, because Andy Muschietti said, like, this is going to be a very different version of Flashpoint. Because in the comic books, Reverse Flash is kind of like the catalyst, right? He kills Barry's mom.
Yeah, I think that's still supposed to be the set start.
But how are we this far along and there's no Reverse Flash? There's news about Batman before Reverse Flash when he's like one of the biggest DC villains of all time behind Joker.
Well, that'd be interesting because I think there's actually like old Justice League stuff that Zach had shared amidst the whole not yet confirmed Snyder cut in the past, but he had like a lot of like Flash set central scenes that
he did, yeah,
with Iris, right?
Yeah, with Iris
and with his dad.
I think they could have stuff like that there. I mean, it's not the most ideal setup place, but I mean, if they were to take Snyder cut stuff to make it the running canon, that would be interesting move.
That's one thing to talk about because most of the reports said it's going to be part of the DCEU technically.
It is, right?
And also the reports hinted that the Matt Reeves Batman trilogy will be standalone.
Yeah.
Completely separate. Different
universe. Which is, I like that. Mm-hmm. But again, I'm just interested how they're, splitting all these different things up. It feels like eventually it might boil over and hurt them again. But like at the same time, I think that, them even giving Matt Reeves a Batman trilogy is like just super exciting. And it shows you that even though they have like these ideas that kind of like mine from the past and stuff, with bringing Keaton back and kind of doing those little moves. And at the same time, it feels like they're going to push forward with like a completely new vision for the Batman. So I'm just excited that we're getting multiple Batmans. I mean, it's cool.
Yeah, it's weird. It's this whole Flashpoint thing really gives me a lot of different perspectives of how it could go. Especially and I think like the easiest way I could do this is like make existing MCU comparisons, just because that's just they've been on the roll for so long, and they try to play catch up to an extent, so it makes sense. I feel like Flashpoint is going to be in an essence kind of like a Captain America Civil War situation in that they probably have like a lot of the existing pre-characters, but it's fueled by Flash's storyline.
I was actually thinking the opposite. I mean, not exactly the opposite, but I don't think they're going to have as many cameos in the Flash as we think. Like, I don't think we're going to have Aquaman, Shazam, or Wonder Woman. I don't even know if Cyborg is still going to be on it because I remember early rumors, it was just rumors at this point, that people were saying Cyborg is going to have a role to play.
It's going to be a buddy movie, right?
A buddy movie. I don't know if that's still on the table. It would make sense, and I like Ray Fisher as Cyborg. He's cool. Yeah. That we saw him like 2 minutes that we saw him in Justice League.
I think it's going to be awesome in the Snyder Cut. Because there's a ton of footage of him. I remember that was like some of the first stuff that came out, like the football field and all that, like that whole backstory.
Yeah, more talk with his dad and everything.
It's I think it could go kind of that way. Maybe not to like an extent of like large roles, but I feel like it could also do what I probably presume Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness is going to do. Like, I think you'll probably like peer into different realities, but not necessarily like stay there for extensive amount of time. I feel like even just for like small cameo moments, they could do stuff like that. Starting to lose my thought.
That's interesting. No, you're good. I think it's risky because I think the whole concept of peering into different universes. I don't think Matt Reeves would want that. I don't think he'd like to see Flash.
No, I don't.
Hey, there's our times as Batman. See you next year.
No, I don't think stuff like that's gonna happen. But I do imagine because like I remember like a big fueling drive within the Flashpoint comics is like through the effects of it. There's like a cool image which I would be shocked if they were to skip out on, where it's the Atlanteans versus the Amazons.
Yeah, I think that's not going to happen.
Well, I think you get like a peer view of it.
I see.
Around for it. Yeah,
an image of it. Okay, that would be cool.
And
it wouldn't cost that much.
At the same time, in connecting with Keaton, I think I really think this whole Flashpoint thing happening this early is like very much like I think they'll have a good driving story, but like I feel like the fact that they did go this early on, it's no doubt being used for course correct. Even though they've been doing that like media wise with their success of Aquaman.
I'm about to say that, yeah.
Right.
I think there's still like the gritty past nature, and there's also the fact that like Ben's not really going to be continuing. I don't think, even with the success of Snyder Cut, the dude's tired. So I'd imagine they're probably going to set up new Batman stuff, which tired. I think actually drives an interesting thing that also came out about the Keaton stuff is they're actually looking to have him in potentially multiple roles as a mentor type figure.
That was surprising. Yeah.
One of them they were even saying in like a standalone Batgirl project that they were looking into doing.
Oh yeah, the famous movie that Joss Whedon quote unquote couldn't crack.
Right.
Remember that guy?
And that could be interesting because like if we're going with this this version of Bruce Wayne that's already much older, I would love.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're gonna have like a new set Batman or if they'll do this with the Batgirl, but if they want to do a Batman Beyond type story, I think that could be really cool.
I would just imagine a Batman Beyond movie or like an HBO Max limited series. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, what gets me most excited?
Like super futuristic-esque, but I think like the mentor role type stuff.
Right, exactly. Like take like the story part of it more so than
the
future aspect. But I guess what excites me is having a Batman at either end of the spectrum of youth and age, and having like it drive different part of the universe. But it's interesting because like I feel like general audiences are going to be so confused between like
totally. They're like,
so where so this affects this. Like they're going to see Robert Pattinson as the new Batman, and then all of a sudden there's going to be an older Batman, and then they're going to be like, well, he doesn't like look like that guy, but he's Batman, and like like it just feels like weird in that way.
I think the solution to that is that most audiences who are going to see Batman have probably seen the 1989 Batman.
Yeah.
So they're going to be like, okay, Michael Keaton's just an older version of that one, and then we have a totally different one. I think that saves the confusion. Though you're right, there's probably can still be like Grandma Judy over here is going to be very confused about what's going on.
I don't know if she's the target demographic.
Exactly. So I don't think, she's a collateral damage. It doesn't really matter.
I feel like that's a risk you take anyway when you're
exactly
in such an interconnected universe anyway.
Yeah.
So I would like probably just say to like go out with it anyway. It's also like kind of goes in the vein of just like with how many different actors that have played many roles, like the fact that there's been so many Batman, the fact that we're gonna have Pattinson on his own, versus if we even have a new set Batman in DCU as well as Michael Keaton's Batman coexist. That's like, and Jeffrey Dean Morgan's Batman as well. That would be like 3 to 4 Batman.
Exactly. I think so. We're gonna see Michael Keaton's Batman. I don't even think we'll see him that much in this suit in terms of after the Flash. Like in terms of his mentor roles,
I don't think he'll be in the suit like
at all.
I feel like if they did a suit scene with him, they might pull a de-aging flashback, but also stunt double guy.
I don't want to de-age Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
Well,
he looks pretty good
happens.
already. He's pretty good. Have you guys seen American Assassin with Michael Keaton and Dylan O'Brien?
No, I've been meaning to.
I haven't seen it. I
It's a
want
pretty dang good movie. I like it a lot.
That was Dylan O'Brien's last. I guess the last Maze Runner came out.
Yeah, Maze Runner came out 2 years after.
But he hasn't been in anything because he got like hurt, and then
and that was
I think he's been cast in some other stuff. I remember seeing news about him being in some new project, but I don't think it's filmed yet.
But first of all, he'd be a great Batman or Batman Beyond or Terry McGinnis or whatever.
Yeah.
But I can just see Michael Keaton in that mentor role because he played a mentor in that movie as well, and he still can do a lot of action scenes too. So I think he'll be in Bruce Wayne. But I wouldn't be surprised if he has a couple action scenes here and there because he's able to do it. And we just saw him in Vulture. He's going to be in a lot of MCU movies coming up. Morbius, Venom 2. Maybe Venom 2. I don't think so.
I think he's in Venom 2.
Maybe. But yeah, he's going to be in Spider-Man stuff in the future. So this guy's in both universes having a great time. And I think most of this just boils down to, I think Warner Brothers wants a current Batman after Matt Reeves' Batman, because I think that's going to last like 5 to 6 years. I think
I think they're
6 years
set for a specific trilogy, and then
I
which
think
makes me real excited for that, just for it being
me too.
a contained narrative.
Yeah, very contained, self-contained stuff, having his own Joker story. You never know; they could go beyond that if Robert and Matt Reeves want to keep on going with Batman. You never know, but yeah, it seems very exciting.
Yeah, I'm intrigued to see what all they pull. I'm curious if they'll do any additional things with Flash, like maybe in like interconnected. Like I don't know if like maybe they'll go the route of the his Batman Superman scene that he had. I feel like doing stuff like that, exploring that, like when he's like warning Bruce about Superman. Maybe he finds a messed up reality and like he tries to warn a specific Bruce, but he gets the wrong one. Yeah,
I wonder if Andy Muschietti talked to Zack Snyder about that. Like, is that going to be a thing where he's like, "Oh, should I have to include that in my movie or not?" I mean, the ending of Zack Snyder's Justice League, whatever it is next year, it's going to end the same way that Flash ended in Justice League, the theatrical cut, at least emotionally. You're probably not going to get the whole Superman Flash running scene. That was pretty cheesy. Yeah. But I think emotionally, the Flash is going to be where he is by the end of the movie, the same place. So, I mean, we could see Superman in the Flash. I would love that.
Speaking of which,
I love that scene.
Yeah, speaking of which,
is Ezra Miller even going to play the Flash? Are we?
Oh wow!
Have we?
I thought you were talking about that. We haven't.
I feel like whatever happened there just kind of got forgotten.
It did. It really.
The more we get Flash,
figured out what was.
What?
No, it never got figured out if it was like a joke or like if it was.
Oh, I forgot what we're. That's what you're talking
about. He like
the
choked the girl, like
and like choke slammed,
like choke slammed.
I don't know if I don't know if he was messing around. I don't know if it was like in good fun.
There's so much stuff going around. Sometimes some people said like the girl was in on it. I'm like, I don't know. It was really weird.
Was she a stan who was like step on my neck and then he was joking?
Oh my god!
No, I don't know.
It seems very bad, but people keep talking about the Flash, so I guess it's swept under the rug.
I don't know.
I feel like they would have done something with that by now, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Amber Heard also exists, and Johnny Depp. Like, there's still
who I think is still going to be Mira in the next Aquaman.
I think so too. I think she'll still be in, but
because
there's just, especially in that story, there's just no. I mean,
nobody
there's just so much.
knows.
Yeah, it's just like they're both doing stuff, and
they're both doing stuff. You never know. Yeah, exactly. So,
yeah. It's crazy. Another thing, I was
poor WB,
especially because Ezra before they signed Muschietti and just like started over for like the 5th time, they asked Ezra for a treatment. Ezra and
Ezra
somebody else.
I can't comic book writer. I forget his name. It was a comic book writer trying to write a movie script, and they were like,
but like he's been trying to get this solo Flash movie done for 6 years now, 5 years.
I don't. Has he though? I think he's been passionate about it, but he's also been contracted for
Fantastic Beast.
Fantastic Beast, exactly. So
yeah.
I don't know where his true passion lies. There is an old interview though where somebody talks to him about the Flash, And the only thing he talks about in that interview is the multiverse. He's like, well, with the Flash character, we can get to all different kinds of multiverse things. It's a weird interview. He talks for like 5 minutes about nothing, but he really likes talking about the multiverse. I think that's been a big idea in his brain for the longest time.
Well, another interesting thing is like when they introduced his Flash onto the Flash TV show in the recent crossover.
Yeah,
that like blew a lot of people away, me included. Just like the fact that they actually pulled that off. It makes me wonder if like that scene will have any interconnectivity in like maybe he's currently on that journey of jump-in points.
Oh, so you're saying like he's probably already been to the multiverse prior to the movie starting?
Yeah, like by the time we get to the movie, like he's like going through different realities, and then he ends up in that one.
Like he's experimenting with it. Yeah.
Yeah, because he's also just as confused, like what's going on. Like another Barry? What? Maybe that's the first meeting of an alternate reality. Who knows?
Yeah, he doesn't even know he's the Flash in that conversation, right?
He's not even. Ezra Miller's is not even named the Flash at that point. He gets that idea there, which is cool.
Which is really weird. Yeah. Okay, I wonder if that's canon. I mean, I guess it has to be.
I'd like it to. I mean, I think it's canon because like
1% of the people watching the movie have seen the Flash.
I don't know, but like I like that DC, like its comics, is like naturally like everything is connected, but it's also its own universe, but through the multiverse, which I think is
really cool. Yeah,
it's also like the same in like if you go into Marvel Comics, they have like their own listings for like the MCU in a specific set Earth stuff.
They do?
Yeah, like they're like all the different Marvel like Earth like
616,
9, everything. Yeah, it's interesting.
Interesting, but yeah, I'm just at the end of this. I'm just like, I hope people are still excited for the Flash movie for the Flash, rather than Michael Keaton is
right.
Michael Keaton is great. I see a lot of people excited for the Flash now, but that's only because Batman's in it, and Batman's the most popular superhero of all time.
I hope it's not an instance of, oh, we want a Darth Vader spinoff now that we saw the hallway scene in Rogue One. That's my, like
maybe like in 20 years.
But we'll see.
Okay, but like I think it's also interesting Michael Keaton's Batman coming into the fold. So I'd imagine he'll probably like if he's going to be a continuing role in the universe, he'll probably end up leaving his to join ours. I'm just also imagining like what his realm looks like, just because Tim Burton's designs are so crazy. I wonder if they'll fuel that into anything.
Great point. Yeah, I guess.
I would love to. I don't know if they'll like contribute to like any other of the Batman films that had Val Kilmer and George Clooney. Even though it's kind of like has some running themes there, but there's different actors. So.
They have the same Alfred, right?
Yeah, it's just the same Alfred primarily, but also it's a decent connective aspect. It's cool. Like if they were to like make a reference to like a Riddler suit or something, I would be cool with that. I would actually really like, and they did this with the Lego Batman movie. If they could have interpreted, even if it's just like a wanted poster or something, if they had a Billy D. Williams, Harvey Dent as Two-Face paid off.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, because it was really cool that they did that in Lego Batman to begin with, to have him voice.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see like where like his priorities are, like when in this moment in time, because like Nathan, I think there'll be some things that like linger in his mind probably about his own universe and what does that look like, and do we even see any of that? You know what I mean? Like with the Flash stuff,
Yeah, I hope we get a glimpse at the Tim Burton style universe.
I think he'll executive produce. Honestly, I think they'll probably get him to. Yeah,
I imagine they'll also probably grab some stuff from Danny Elfman as well, since he worked on Justice League.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that
because his
the only Batman theme.
He worked on Justice League. All I did was rip songs from other movies and put it in.
Yeah, but it was cool. Do you guys think they'll establish the Keaton Batman universe to have any other DC heroes existing in it, or just himself? Like, do you think he'll be surprised?
On his side, like
an Aquaman on his universe or something?
I don't know. Maybe Tim Burton's Nicolas Cage Superman. I don't know.
Oh my god,
that'd be awesome.
I'd love that, honestly.
I think there'll be hints and like quote references, but not like visual.
Yeah,
references.
not like visual.
Yeah. But yeah, Carson, what you said about his mindset, that'd be interesting because if he's going to be the Nick Fury, does he want to be like the Nick? Does he want to be a mentor to people after
Right.
he gets yanked from his own universe?
Like, what is his motivation to like?
What is his
kind of
motivation? Yeah,
to
maybe
help Barry with the multiverse and all that. Like,
maybe in his universe, like
It's also not uncommon for like these other universes to just be like wiped out in these events. So maybe it could get lost.
maybe he's constantly been trying to mess with his universe. Like, maybe he discovers somehow that his universe is on an endless loop towards death or whatever, getting destroyed, and he's trying to alter that.
Jeez,
and he can't do it by himself. I don't know.
That's a good point. Yeah,
it's also an interesting thing with the whole Flash crossover that did happen, the Crisis on Infinite Earths that they just did, because they did reference a lot of existing DC material, including the Tim Burton Batman. They call it like Earth 89.
Earth 89, yeah,
which was cool, but like it also ended up getting destroyed. I don't know if they reverse that to fixing, or if cause I think the whole conclusion of it was that they were all existing on
the same Earth.
Yeah, which I don't think they'll do for the DCU.
Totally, they can't.
No, yeah, they're still going to be more multiverses for sure. So I imagine they'll have their own set divides, because you can't just have like Ezra Miller's Flash run around Grant Gustin like that. That's not going to happen. Mm-hmm. But I think whatever maybe like they had set up there, because even that was a whole confusion to the both of them as to like the set plan. So
yeah,
I'd imagine that you could have the fueling event from that. I mean, you don't really even need like general audiences to be aware of that, to just know, oh, it's an ending event. But like if you have to know that's a connected event of universe ending stuff, that'd be kind of cool as just like a catalyst to start the adventure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm sure they'll roll with something big that affects both Michael Keaton's Batman's world and then the world that Barry's in, and then that will tie it together, and then they'll have their first meeting, which is going to be super interesting. Yeah. Like what is Michael Keaton's first scene like back? Like so it's going to be.
Yeah, what's he going to be doing? Like he could be retired by the time they go back to see him.
Maybe oh my god! I need a Bruce Wayne just smoking a cigar, like
that'd be
chilling
awesome.
in an armchair, like
with Selena Kyle. If they bring in Michelle Pfeiffer, that'd be crazy.
I mean, they could do. Yeah, she was like just in Ant-Man the Wasp, so it's not like
she looked great. Yeah. She's doing fine. She's amazing.
The de-aging wasn't too bad as well. So like if they again wanted to do something, but yeah, it's the whole prospect is really interesting. I'm excited to see the development on this. It's still funny looking back at the whole Birdman role of like.
Oh yeah, no. Someone made a tweet about that where he's like literally like, now going to be in like how many MCU movies, Venom and now this, which is hilarious.
Spider-Man,
good for him.
Wasn't like the whole thing with the Birdman? It was like just like embrace your popular role.
Sure, I haven't seen the movie in a while, but
yeah, it's been a minute. But like by the end, he was just like, yeah, all right.
Did he not die in the end?
Yeah, he
dies by the end for sure. Like,
yeah, spoiler.
Or he flies away.
Yeah, it's it's ambiguous. Like
it's ambiguous, yeah.
Yeah,
because he does the real gun for the to get the headline basically for that reviewer to finally give him.
I love that movie, man. I gotta.
Yeah, that movie's wild.
That was 2014, right?
Yeah, 2014. What a year!
Best Picture.
Yeah, Best Picture. Yeah.
Well, speaking of pictures, they're making a comeback.
Are they?
They are.
They're trying.
We're really trying. Hoping back up. Miss it.
I think we're the only ones super excited. I mean, it's so conflicting, right? Because
I'm excited.
We're all excited. I'm going as soon as they open, but people call me crazy. People are like, "Why, Evan? Are you crazy, Evan? I don't want to go back to that." Like, you're in a contained room. COVID's easy. People can take their mask off anyways because people can't enforce it once you're inside the screening. So it's crazy. People look on us like we're crazy, but I don't know.
I don't think people are gonna like I don't think they're gonna have people standing by with like flashlights in your face, like put it back
Yeah,
on,
like hey, push it back on. Yeah.
on or out, and then
Hurry
like
up and-
somebody,
hurry up and
somebody
sue.
gets up in arms and like throws a fit, and then you're ruining the whole experience, and then you gotta refund vouchers and God.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
whole thing.
Oh man.
But
But
the first 2 weeks is going to be interesting.
Very
Yeah.
interesting.
I'm intrigued to see like the startup box office reports come in for stuff.
That's the thing, right? That's where it all money talks, right, people? And I think that's the discussion that a lot of studios, especially Warner Brothers, is having in regards to Tenet, Disney with Mulan. How much are you willing to risk to be the first movie out there? And I think movie theaters are just have to wait patiently for studios to decide for them. Because I think Tenet already was going to be like a $500 to $600 million movie. 500 being optimistic.
Sure.
But I think is Nolan willing to risk money loss? Nolan could be willing to risk it, but I don't think WB wants to risk it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think Nolan doesn't really care, but WB totally cares because this is going to set the trend for the rest of the year in terms of are people going to come back?
Yeah, I mean it's also intriguing to see how things will go in general. I mean we're going to talk about the procedures that are coming, but there's also a lot of new report cases of new spikes of a second wave hitting with the whole virus, so that could have an effect.
Yeah,
as well.
we're really not even done with. If you pull up the graph on your screen right now with the first wave, like it just went up from the like I'm seeing the comparison to like the other countries of flattening the curve versus us, and it's kind of,
that's the thing. We didn't even have a first wave. We've sucked so badly that there's no second wave. It's just that the first wave is still here, and people forgot.
Yeah.
I was at the gas station today, and I was the only one wearing a mask. I'm like, you people are crazy. But
yeah, I go to work, and like every time, like none of the customers have a mask. Like it's not a requirement if like because I work at a specific trampoline park, so it's recreational. So like people who are participating, they're not required to wear masks. That's fine, and we're constantly disinfecting stuff. But also the parents that are just visiting, not jumping, are also not wearing masks. The employees are, but they're not, and it's just like, come on.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I always thought it was a bad idea to reopen to begin with. So it's just
I agree.
Like of all places, a place where children, the germiest kids ever, run around and are like bouncing around, and like we have like walls of glass, so it's like everything's there.
Literally a contained like
biohazard.
Well,
it's odd. In regards to theaters, though, it's interesting because I've been exploring. Because recently, the whole theater guidelines have been kind of published out there for through Fandango. It looked like, and they had a lot of different points. One of which being the biggest social distancing. Also, theaters have actually joined update that they're going to require masks to be worn.
Actually, AMC and Regal have. AMC,
yeah.
Cinemark still hasn't.
Wow.
Oh, they haven't. Well, that's another thing. They've been the only ones who are like opening the earliest. Like it looks like they're set to open up.
Cinemark is opening the earliest, and
they're opening like next week.
Next week, yeah. I think I can go to the movies and watch freaking Blade Runner: The Final Cut next Friday.
You can.
At 6:45.
We're gonna talk to upcoming re-releases, but like you can like set stuff now.
Yes,
like, you can buy tickets right now for July 3rd. I think is the earliest.
Yeah, next Friday, which is insane to me.
I've also noticed, like people who I know that either work at independent theaters or the ones that I find listed on Fandango, they're opening like tomorrow, like already.
I haven't checked my local independent theater. I have to check to see what they're doing.
Yeah, like the less like big brand theaters are already like showcasing film. Like I was like one of the re-releases that was listed was Deathly Hallows Part 2. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. Like, who's showing that? And it's one of the indie theaters. I'm like, oh, okay.
They're not doing Deathly Hallows Part 1 because it's trash.
They're not doing any Harry Potter but the last one. I'm like, okay.
Wow.
It's weird. It's bizarre. It's interesting. I didn't know Cinemark wasn't doing the mask thing. That's yikes.
I got to look it up because there's no way, right?
Yeah.
I imagine the two biggest theater chains already caved. Like, what, are you just not going to do it? Like, I don't know.
They're putting their foot down.
It's crazy, and it's interesting because like Cinemark is really like who I've been like focusing through, and like I queued up some of their showings because they are one of the theaters that has select seating, and luckily they have it blocked off to where like per the seat you sit in, they will block off two seats to your left and right. So if it's a party of 1, 2, however many, they'll have that many that sit together, and then they'll block 2 off for each side, and then leave the subsequent seats available, which is interesting. But I also it's weird because like the way it was blocked off was like, yeah, you get the space in between, but there's no block off space behind or in front.
Behind, where like people are breathing forwardly.
And I guess it depends on layout, sure, but like, and that's why that was another thing. Like today, I was like going through just like my local Cinemark, like the photos of the auditoriums, and it's interesting because like AMC, which I think I have depicted here, I got this from their site. They have like a setup thing. It's different than this. Where like they'll have like these big block barriers that like go up to
like kind of railings
above your head.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like your own like blocked off row seating, and then you got the whole like distance up and back before, and people are reclining and stuff. So I feel like the distance is okay.
What theater does that? AMC, you said?
AMC,
yeah, AMC. They have like more like. It's kind of tiered off now, where it's like there'll be like bigger barriers, and so you really don't see their heads. You just see the
like
top of the barrier.
Your whole row is one big booth.
Yeah,
interesting.
And it'll also like the seat will go back to even farther
for every aisle, or just like the top.
Every aisle.
Yeah, there's less seats now because of the recliners. But some of these smaller ones, smaller auditoriums, like are like what Nathan has in the background, where it would just be like. Seating like that, or just like a smaller amount of recliners.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that works as well because like looking at the distance, because like a lot of people do recline as well. So when they do that, that's also like quite the distance from face to blocked off face next row. So I feel like AMC is cool if they don't do that because there's already so much difference in space. But when I was looking at Cinemark, it was didn't look that heavy of a divide. I feel like you could easily like if someone sneezes, you're gonna feel it.
Yeah.
Like dang.
That's my fear right now. I keep thinking it's like.
So you gotta sit in the back of this mother. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I just like I see all these re-releases, and like Tenet is supposedly moving forward. It still feels like a dream. I don't know if it's happening. Like it just feels like it's not going to happen, but it is. But like, is it? And I just keep asking myself, like, is it worth it for me to go out? Like I don't know. What if everybody shows up? Like
exactly.
I don't want that.
Whereas like. I'll risk it, not many people are going to be there anyways. But if everybody thinks that, there's going to be a lot of people there.
Like if I come up to a Friday Tenet matinee, like is everybody going to be there? Like I don't know these things. Like
that's true, man.
I would love like a feature on like Fandango or something where it's like, this. I mean, they already kind of do like, oh, this showtime's getting full, but like I would love like more like. Live coverage of it, like this showtime has a different risk level or something, like where you could.
Oh god, I thought of something horrible. Yeah. Like, can you imagine if they had a virus version of like auditoriums that's like the way they used to do restaurants of like smoking versus non-smoking?
Oh my god!
It's like accept your own risk. I was like, oh, that's horrible. Like you could like bomb clean the.
I was talking about that the other day too, the whole smoking and not smoking thing. That's a relic of the time.
That's weird. But that won't happen, obviously.
Yeah.
I imagine blood.
Corona, no corona. What do you want?
Yeah. So patriotic with your rights, and we just want your money. Just go ahead and die.
We don't want to be political, but oh god.
Oh my god, that's what they should just name the auditorium. That's what's playing. We don't want to be political, but
that's a PR disaster. I'm surprised nobody at AMC read that. Be like, we can't send this, right? We can't send this.
They're 45 minutes away from me. I live by the headquarters. They're making these foolish statements.
That's crazy. How can you literally say that statement and then just be like, throw it out there and people will support you? No, this is not a game. So yeah, this is all very fascinating. Like I'm willing to go. I'm going to be wearing a mask.
Yeah, me too.
So I feel like I will be safe, but it's the point that.
But really, masks protect other people from you.
Yeah.
Mostly.
Yes.
That's true.
So what scares me is trusting an audience who I already don't trust in the first place.
That's fair.
You know, I mean, I love audiences, but at the same time,
if I don't trust them,
at the same time, they can't understand the simple plot of Little Women in the flashbacks and normal in the present tense. How am I going to trust them to wear a mask? I don't know.
Man, if I can experience people arguing over taking a seat, I can only imagine this mask situation is going to be
right. And
could you
people
move
still can't find their seats.
And,
It's been like what 4 or 5 years of reserved, mostly like pretty traditionally
my AMC,
reserved seating.
My AMC got on board with it by mid 2016.
Wow.
Right.
That was I specifically remember because I used to not be on board with it because I would always I was like old fashioned, like going
let me get to my seat. Like,
yeah,
let me get there.
I always went early every time, got my specific seat, and then they did the reserved seating. I was like, I'm doomed because
it screwed me over.
Because at the time I did not have a bank account. I could not reserve digital money.
Yeah. I'm still the same way. Like I love when it's not reserved. Like the indie movie theater I have does not do reserved seating. And I'm cool with that. I sit wherever the heck I want.
I like it now for especially like big premieres.
Yeah, that's true. For big premieres, I'm gonna reserve the heck out of that. But for most, if I'm going to go see Crawl opening weekend, I don't want to have to reserve my seat because I know nobody's gonna be there. But the thing about reserved seating is, I can get there 30 minutes early, and the movie theater doesn't even get packed. I can sit in the middle, but Joe over here reserved the middle seat, and he doesn't show up till like once the movie starts, and it's like I could have had that seat and. It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't mind it.
And
now,
how do they stagger? How do they stagger? Like, I feel like they have to somehow micromanage, like the flow into the theater. I feel like reserve seating. It kind of it doesn't encourage being late, but it encourages kind of showing up at the same time. Like there's no incentive to show up for a seat, so everyone kind of shows up at the same time. I don't know. It's like right as the theater, right as the previews start, everyone floods in, and then the previews will start, and then there'll be a few more people, but mostly there's like one surge. So I just don't know because they don't want people standing in the lobbies, obviously, but they don't want people.
I imagine they'll also have the 6 feet apart rule going on.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
But I'm just curious.
That gets weird when like some auditoriums that are smaller that only have like a one-way door passage.
Yeah.
I'm
waiting. What I'm waiting for is I'm not going to go right away. I mean, I'm probably going to wait like a week or two.
If Tenet comes out, you're going to wait a week?
No, not Tenet. I mean like July when they open July 15th next week. I'm going to see what the consensus is, how like smoothly everything runs because I'm sure there'll be some people that write some.
Carson's going to wait. He'd be like,
I kind of want to go to like the day one of my theater just to like vlog the experience
because there's gonna be that article like moviegoer catches there's gonna be that it's inevitable like
I'm just like record a fight like I'm just gonna be in my seat and like somebody's shouting like down by the screen. I'm just like
and it's like I keep asking myself I should not go until there's a cure. Like I know I just like ethically that's what I should do. Yeah. But I keep telling myself I'm gonna go, and I don't know.
Well, if you take the right precautions, I feel like as long as you're not endangering others through your precautions,
right?
But that's like Carson said, you have to put your faith in other people, which I grew up saying no.
So it's at your own risk at that point.
Yes, you're right. I don't trust people, but you're gonna have to, and you have to wear a mask.
And it'll be an interesting thing. I know they're set to cut back concession, but I doubt they take away.
They can't cut it.
What do you mean cut back in session?
No, well, like I know, like a lot of
menu. They're doing limited
menus of items.
Limited menu.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of places, like AMC, they'll serve like pizzas and sliders and stuff, like little personal things.
Okay.
But I imagine they'll cut. But that's also like an effort of a meal. I imagine they'll cut back. But like even so, if you just have like popcorn, even if you have like the smallest bag of popcorn, you still got to get under that mask to properly.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like, do people once they take off that mask to eat or drink?
I see. It's just going to be off.
Them from taking it off because
nobody's going to make the effort to recook. Every time.
I think people.
You could get behind if you want to have a drink, you can easily slip a straw behind it. But popcorn. That's an effort, like hand motion, constant eating.
All right, this is what we do. We make every movie 3D, and the mask is attached to the 3D glasses. And
I would
you
hate
have
that.
to wear it.
I can do it. I have to wear glasses on top of my glasses.
It's a 3D concession gas mask where it's just you have the goggles for your 3D, but like it funnels to your concession.
That's wild.
But Evan, this is a good question because I wear glasses to the movie theater as of the last 2 years because I can't see distance all the way.
I can't see.
No, I can't.
Nathan,
It's not HD. If I don't have my glasses, I'm not getting that full IMAX glory.
I put the 3D glasses over my glasses.
So
I hate that.
I don't know if I'm going to wear my glasses.
Well,
I think I'm just not going to wear them because I don't want to have to deal with my glasses fogging up when I'm watching the movie. Like,
well, there's a method because I have to do this because I go to work. I gotta, like, basically, like, you have it, like, pinched to the bridge of your nose. But, like, you have to, like, have them, like, sitting forward like you're old.
Like your
so
Bernard and
like,
I'm going to get, like, a monofocal, just, like...
What you see is fine, and it's fine, but, like, otherwise it's weird.
Yeah. So am I going to be back in the recliners, like... You know, like, looking...
I mean, it's not bad.
Like,
even if you are reclined, I feel like you're good. But... and if somebody sees you like this, you're fine.
But I don't even have to worry about my breathing or the way I'm using my mask when I'm trying to watch Tenet, which is so complex. It's like Christopher Nolan's doing a huge like monologue, and you're like,
"Oh my god!" Imagine watching an intense thriller that like you're just like, "Oh my god!" But like,
and someone sneezes, like, bro, I'm gonna be taken out of the movie. Like,
exactly.
I
like,
didn't mean
a
that.
Quiet Place in 2 months. It's like, oh shoot, what's gonna happen?
How do you guys feel like if you're watching like a really intense scene and like your breathing like starts getting heavy, but like you're behind a mask?
I don't know. It's gonna be so nerve wracking. Like,
I mean, the whole experience will be nerve wracking. Every movie you see, even if it's like a lighthearted comedy, is a thriller because you never know what's gonna happen.
Honestly, I'm curious to see like if are they gonna have like Thursday night screenings? Like, are they gonna have that incentive of opening night? Like,
I want
a theater.
I imagine like another thing is I imagine they're not gonna do like any form of like marathon fan event things until there's an actual secure treatment,
which is 2021 at the earliest.
But you say that, and at the same time, a lot of these theaters, you know, from a business perspective, are obviously looking to get back to full capacity as soon as possible. But they're like, oh yeah, by November, I think it was the AMC CEO is like, we're trying to get back by No Time to Die.
Like, everything's coming out in November.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah.
Like, so I'm just wondering, like, if this goes well and COVID still, you know, spikes, like if that test run goes well, are we gonna like drop our guard even more?
Totally.
Like, I don't know what does that reaction look like? That's what I'm most concerned about.
Because
again, especially with go ahead.
Yeah, I just think most people they're just like, I'm not going to movie theater until there's like a vaccine. And then there's people like us who's just like, I just want to go see Tenet and Mulan or whatever. So I think we're just in that constant middle ground. Like, what do people do? And I think theaters are very much caught in the middle of all this.
Yeah, it'll be interesting too, because like they fueled. I don't know why they moved everything to November, because that's so. I'm pretty sure it's a new release like weekly, and I haven't seen that since like March 2017, which was crazy because like
5 weeks in a row.
Yeah, in like no particular order, they dropped Logan, Kong, Beauty and the Beast, Power Rangers, like
Ghost in the Shell.
So
yeah, November seems like the May of 2020. You know what I mean? Like they're usually like 5 straight hits in a month. So
and then April
has what?
I was trying to think. I think there was a Fast and Furious movie like right after that month too.
Yeah, I mean, I think November right now. First week is Eternals. Then after that, we have probably
Black Widow.
Yeah, you're right. Black Widow. It feels like I've already seen Black Widow. It's like, it feels like this already came out. Like I saw a trailer for it the other day when I'm watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I'm like, that movie still hasn't come out. I feel like I've seen the movie already.
Speaking of promotion, before you jump into this November thing, Disney has not promoted Mulan whatsoever. Like I think
they straight stopped.
They like just dumped their budget like back.
Oh, that's what you're
saying. Yeah, they've already dumped 250 million plus into this thing. Like,
I think they're good. They're like, you know what, guys? People already know Mulan. It came out in 1990, whatever. It's like we don't have to market this anymore.
I think at most they'll reuse the trailer, maybe make a new TV spot.
If I see the trailer one more time,
and they'll just well, if you do it,
I've seen it so many times.
The bird just going.
Do a new trailer. How many There's so many trailers. There's like 3 of them.
That bird shot gets me every when she like twisted to the bird. She's like,
I was like, oh my god, come on! I've seen the trailer 7,000 times.
Okay, but but basically, I imagine what they're gonna do is they're gonna screen that, and they'll just put up posters and standees, and that's it. They're not gonna make too big of an effort to make even more stuff.
The 5th trailer for Mulan.
I'm sure they had like multiple TV spots already ready to set during its release, and they just like held back on those. They're already ready to go. I bet.
Speaking of TV spots, I saw a couple of TV spots for Tenet last night when I was watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I'm like, are these new TV spots? I haven't seen these. Like, I tried to cover my eyes. I'm like, I don't want to see this yet. Like,
I mean, they're basically
crazy
still around there.
I don't see TV spots anymore unless they're YouTube ad related and they drop, which usually it's just a trailer. But
yeah, Wednesdays are usually the only days I watch live TV because I watch the 100 and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I'm like, okay, these are actual commercials. Interesting. Okay. What's going on?
Those are going to be over. Both shows are going to be over soon, right? They're both on their last season.
On their last season, season 7. Pretty funny.
Oh, now you got to get Apple TV. Damn it.
Nah.
Fire Bay. Here we go.
My mom has Apple TV, and she's like, Evan, can you get Apple TV? And like, I'm already paying for everything. I don't want to pay for Apple TV. Anyway.
I do want to watch M. Night's.
I do
on there.
Oh,
yeah.
And that Jason Momoa series looked interesting. See, where they're all blind, and then I don't know. When did they film that? Like, I feel like that came out of nowhere. Like, Aquaman happened, and then all of a sudden, like, Jason Momoa is on the Apple keynote stage, and I'm like, what? How did this happen?
Put a gun to it.
Yeah, it's like mid 2019 they dropped that, I think, and it's just like, wait, what?
Apple.
Yeah, but no, this whole experience would be interesting. Another thing I want to bring up that I just thought about when I was like looking through more stuff. I showed to Evan like briefly in chat. It's like premium formats, like that has a whole different seating layouts. Like Cinemark's D-Box didn't appear to be doing any form of blocking for social distance on their seats, because I saw 2 people like that I don't know from each other. That's not the same row, but like there was no like blocked off spaces next to them anyway for next purchases. It was already, and I had already, and this wasn't just a thing where it's like one person in a row and they haven't decided yet and they'll do it later. I was like viewing multiple screens because like one of the re-releases is Back to the Future, and that's like the most popular thing that's selling right now. One of them, like, or even like Invisible Man that's coming back. They had one person in there in a seat, but he still had the spaces blocked off. But in the D box, they didn't have it blocked off at all, and it's already a limited number of seating. So I wonder how that's going to go. On the reverse, IMAX at my theater
more seats.
It's not only more seats, but like I don't know if it's same for you, but for my theater, they didn't renovate that, so it's still the old theater seats that doesn't have
still the rockers.
Giant blocking.
It's rows of rockers. It's like
mine doesn't even rock. It's still just like stagnant. But
AMC IMAX that you're looking at?
my AMC IMAX. It's the old theater seats from like early 2000s that you would see. It's the same thing, and there is a lot more seats. So I imagine they'll do the blocking off system there as well. The seats are smaller, so that's less a distance. So I don't know if they'll block off.
Yeah, I hope they do it with the rows too. I hope for the premium format they would do it extra row, because there are enough rows in IMAX to do that.
Yeah, there's so many seats in IMAX. I think there's like a good at least like 200 in my IMAX.
Easily.
Like, not only that, but like you'll make your money with IMAX, because like Tenet I think will be a huge success, especially in IMAX, but I don't think it's going to do record-breaking endgame stuff where it's going to have constant sold-out shows. So they really do need to block off the behind and front of you, because there's too much close proximity in those rows. I know I'm like always in there that like you can't.
It's close. It's very close. Really close. And
it's
it
not
may
like
come down
right here, but it's like.
But it's right. It's there.
Yeah, it's like that's.
And the thing is, this may be my breaking point if I go or not. If I log on to my AMC app 2 hours before I'm supposed to go to Tenet, and I see that there's people directly behind me and directly in front of me in those IMAX seats, I'm not going. But I'll reschedule to a different showtime.
In the back.
So I don't know. It's like, again, it comes down to your personal discretion. Like, I just don't know it.
Evan, I go to the theater to see stuff on the big screen. I'm not sitting all the way in the back to where it looks like my television now. I'm not doing that.
I don't know why I keep saying it's in the back because I never sit in the back unless I have.
Then you sit in the back and you start to hear the sound mix because you'll hear like the how they fade it from the front to back and like different sounds.
I can hear the Oscar nomination.
I know. Okay, cinema major over here. You hear the sound?
No, you do. You hear the
I don't hear Jack.
Wait, no, go on.
You have definitely been okay. So like, if someone is like yelling in the background and they're behind a character, like they'll mix it so it sounds like you're in the middle from your perspective of the middle of the theater. They'll mix it so it's coming from the back speakers to give you that perspective. And so when you're sitting in the back, it's weird because you'll hear that directly this way, and you're like, "Wait, hold up, this shouldn't have got to me." Like,
no.
I'm gonna complain to my manager. Like, you hear the sound is awful in the back row.
In the midst of a global pandemic, you go up to the customer service desk. You're complaining about this sound mix.
Sir,
Oh
this
my
is
God.
Wendy's. Get out of here.
So it'll be interesting because also at my theater there's the Dolby Cinema, which it I think it's fine. It's basically just the same as the normal reclining auditoriums you got here, except it's a little more like heightened with the bass built in the seats. It's like the black leather design instead of red. And it's the same like bulk barriers as well per row. So I think they'll equate the same rule. But it's just IMAX that concerns me with their thing, and it's just another thing that I'm afraid that it's gonna kill the IMAX experience because like less people have started going into IMAX since Dolby was introduced. So it fueled the audience over, unfortunately, which I hate because I love getting experience of a big theater with.
but
IMAX.
that may benefit us now going to IMAX.
Like even worse with this whole pandemic stuff, which sucked. I mean, it was still successful. Like with Endgame's run, there was like plenty of showings and like decently with Rise of Skywalker as like word of mouth goes. But it's interesting, and I'm just like, but like whenever I would do like before Dolby was introduced, like when I even just see like an average big film releasing in IMAX, it'd still get like big numbers. But now since Dolby has that alternative, it's kind of odd. And
yeah, I haven't been to a Dolby theater in a very long time. It's been a minute since
I go as like my next best. I primarily fuel by audiences because I like to do the audience reactions. But primarily, if like Dolby's like the highest available for me, even if it's not a matter of audience and it's just like.
What do you mean, real quick? What do you mean fueled by audiences? So if you go on your app and you see like a lot of audiences are going into that screening, you'll go with them?
Yeah, typically like if I'm like viewing like an opening night thing, and I always go for a premium format. Not necessarily 3D, but like if 3D is already with the IMAX, I'm fine with that. I'm not really looking for the real 3D. Dolby doesn't have the 3D, so it really comes down to like for me IMAX or Dolby, and I choose between those based on the number of audience members that are going.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah, it'll even like be points in time because like I know A-list, you aren't able to reserve a seat that's within the exact same running show times. There has to be like a 2-hour split. So what I often end up doing is like I'll reserve a seat and then I'll pay for another seat in the two, and I'll like play a waiting game where I get closer to determine which one I refund.
Wow, how quick are those refunds?
They're not too they're pretty fast. Yeah.
What are you saying with A-list?
Yeah, even with an actual money transference, it doesn't take a long time.
Yeah.
For me. And often I'll refund the money one and I'll replace it with the free A-list like instantly.
Yeah, that's the other thing I'm curious about. We should mention quick is like, Regal has like an unlimited thing. AMC has A-list. I'm sure other places have other things, and like, there's going to be a limited flex because before is like A-list you can just go wherever, but now it's 3 movies per week, correct?
Yeah,
which I don't see why people would be going more than one time a week.
Or like me, where I do like 3 in a day.
Right.
Which I don't know if I'll be able to do now because like I would do it, like I used to do it because like if I know I'm set there for like amount of time a day, I would like buy a like meal type snack in between.
Right. And
but
you won't be able to sit in the lobby. You're not going to be able to.
yeah, then I can't live off popcorn. I can't.
They're
I'll
like,
die.
sir, get out.
Yeah, like it's just one. So I gotta like make my experiences count. I could probably do like 2 movies max, but
Will they even let you book 2 movies in a day? I don't know.
maybe. I mean, probably just kind of like
should,
have
right?
to like redirect out and come back in.
Yeah. I don't see why not. They need as much money as they can get right now. They're not going to
That's
reject
true.
people. Yeah.
I think it would be smart if they set up a flow to like your entrance and then have a guide set to your auditoriums and then a new guide from the auditoriums to like trail along to the bathroom because everyone would have to go normally and then like to the exit. I feel like that could function pretty good if you plan it out properly.
Possibly. But your whole idea of seeing multiple movies a week goes into the whole idea that there's not going to be that many movies once theaters reopen fully. I mean, outside of the re-releases. So right now is Mulan is actually the first runner-up with July 24th. But we just learned today that that might not be happening, or I think it was yesterday that might not be happening. I think Disney is considering moving Mulan back.
And
again,
it's only on
like the third time.
And it was only to like today, like right before I hopped on here, that I shared in chat. It looks like
WB is also considering moving back Tenet.
Yeah, potentially
August 15th, which was always surprising to me because once Wonder Woman got pushed back. Wait, what day is Wonder Woman coming out again?
October 2nd.
Yeah. So once Wonder Woman got pushed back from August to October 2nd, I thought that, okay, Tenet's going to move into that Wonder Woman slot, that August 14th slot.
It wouldn't be too bad.
That didn't seem to be.
But like, what's the difference between? Like, I see a 2-week push. There's no.
I agree. That's the
difference.
There's going to be no difference in terms of possible cases.
That gives you the same situation that you're in the first place.
Yep. I think at that point, theaters are just wondering, are theaters going to be, or our audience is going to be willing to go by that time?
Yeah. It's interesting because also in regard to like wanting to go to the theater, like the whole lead up to the opening, I've been apprehensive. Obviously, I miss it, but like I am like it all feels really shaky. But when I did read the report that Tenet might move back, I was like, no, come back. I want to go. I was like,
yeah, like I'm with you. And like I said earlier, people think we're crazy. Like, Evan, why would you come back? Like some of my friends are like, you're really gonna go into a closed space like that? Like just watch a new movie? I'm like, but it's Christopher Nolan. But then I sound like an idiot.
Yeah, dude, it's been 3 months since I've seen a movie in theaters.
What was your last movie, man?
Onward, and Invisible Man on the same day.
Well, at least one of those was good.
Get out! I'm gonna kick you.
Onward was fantastic. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's 2-on-1.
Yeah.
All right, but
I bawled my eyes out at the end of that movie.
Insane to me.
Okay, but that was like also the first week of March. So like going through all of March, April, May, and June now, it has been basically 4 months. So by the time Tenet comes out, it will have been 5 months pretty much since I've seen a movie in theaters.
Crazy.
I lost like half my year to movie going.
I don't remember last summer I didn't go to a movie theater. Like, dang.
Yeah, like this whole summer movie season is missed.
Dead. It's basically dead because I think if Mulan,
I didn't even get to April. Like,
yeah, if Mulan and Tenet, which most likely by next week they're going to move to August, which again, like Carson said, it's not really going to change anything, but maybe just audience optimism. Maybe that changes.
Right. I haven't seen a movie since March 10th. I saw Emma.
I was 1 week.
Oh, my last movie too.
I was 1 week away from going to A Quiet Place double feature in Dolby, and I was super hyped. And like
I remember that.
And like a week before, John Krasinski tweeted out a message that they're moving it, and I'm like, no.
Was that the first one?
That was the first big one. I was like,
Fast and Furious was the first one, I think.
Yeah,
right?
Fast and Furious.
I think Fast and Furious did, and like
a year.
Time to Die, I think as well. Dude, it was like back to back. It was Fast and Furious, No Time to Die, Mulan.
Oh, yeah, and poor Daniel Craig was on SNL.
He was like, look, it's not coming out for a bit, but here's like 4 whole minutes of the flick.
But he was like, God dang, my agent screwed me over.
Dude, I was. It sucks because I was so hyped, and even now I'm sticking to like what my choice was. Is like I'm not really like if they do any new trailers for No Time to Die, I'm not gonna watch because I'm already sold.
Me too.
I didn't watch the 4-minute clip.
I didn't either.
Even the No Time to Die Billie Eilish song that I have no doubt is going to be the opener. I still haven't heard it because I want.
I heard a little bit of it. I don't think
I've heard a little bit of it. Yeah.
I know everybody was like really hyped about it, but I want my first time for it to be with the visuals of the film because they're always fantastic, those openings.
Most of them are.
It just sucks, man. And like
Quantum of Solace is pretty bad.
I still haven't seen Quantum of Solace. Actually,
It's not a good movie.
I'll watch. I'm gonna rewatch the Craig film.
That movie was made during that huge writer strike in like 2009 or 10 or whatever, and it's
yes,
it's not a good movie.
2009,
before
the age of Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen and X-Men.
Oh.
Great time.
But I'm bummed, man, because I really wanted to do the Quiet Place double feature. Do you think they would do that?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think they'll do like the 2 screenings? You think it's too long? Because they're not
September
super long.
though. I don't know.
Like, aren't they basically like 90-minute movies a piece? I mean, what would be the difference?
How long is the first one? Is the first one really that short? No way.
I think so.
There's no way it's more than an hour and 45 minutes. I think it's.
I think it is an hour and 40. Yeah. What is that? Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna go 147 for my guess.
142.
Oh.
An hour and 42 minutes.
The runtime for A Quiet Place. Okay, that's not right. It says.
What about Quiet Place 2?
Oh my god!
60 minutes.
It says 3 hours 36 minutes.
Oh my god!
Combined for the whole thing?
There's a lot of credits.
That's just for A Quiet Place 1. That's not right.
There's a lot of credits. Those credits were
All right, I got it. All right, I'll cue it up on my Voodoo. For the record, A Quiet Place 2 is only an hour 40.
I was close.
So 2 minutes short. Okay.
Yeah.
A Quiet Place. Oh, A Quiet Place 2 showed up. Whoops.
Yeah, I'm gonna queue up A Quiet Place.
Which got great reviews.
Oh wow, Carson on Wikipedia at least is right.
Oh, it's only not. It's
90
91
minutes.
Quiet
Carson
Place.
cheated. He just
Well,
fixed.
no, I'm looking up now.
He put that on Wikipedia just now.
No, okay. But yeah, it's not like long run times.
Yeah, you're right.
I feel like they could, if they wanted to, maybe as like, I feel like that would be, if anything, a good test run for an event like that. Just to see how it vibes, because I feel like it's short enough, but like also just like the run of.
And that's like the only future movie I can see this year that would have the need to do a, what's it called, like a double feature or a marathon type of thing.
Because that was Bond too. I mean,
but you don't put Skyfall.
I would love to do it.
No,
I think that was,
I mean,
what I think I heard that was like set to happen somewhere.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
like,
maybe in the UK. Maybe in the UK, I think.
I think a couple of this happens sometimes. AMC will like do marathons, but only like at like select locations.
Mm-hmm.
They were set to do Craig's whole Bond run, like all 5 of them, but then it all moved, and I was like, dang,
that would be a long.
Hype,
yeah, because pre-corona they had the whole Craig's whole Bond run as a marathon at AMC at least. Yep.
Okay, I was wrong.
It was bookable. Like I remember talking about it with Nathan. And we're like
10 hours. Shit.
Yeah.
That's a great day for anything.
Would it be? Yeah, they do Quantum of Solace and what was that one that was bad? The recent one? Spectre. Oof.
Spectre.
Visually, Spectre looks nice.
Oh, it's a,
of course.
I don't hate Spectre at all. I like.
I don't hate much movies.
I can get through.
Spectre is a boring film.
It's so boring. It's boring.
It definitely has a lot of low points for sure. In pacing, but
just admit it.
Just admit it, motherfucker.
I will never give a bad review. Dude, I can actually find find positivity in anything. I guarantee you throw anything.
X-Men: The Last Stand. There's a lot of low points, but
the Jean Grey sacrifice is pretty great. I think.
Is it though?
Yeah, with Logan. I think it's cool. Get out of here. The cast ain't bad.
Oh man, the cast ain't bad. How about that director though? Oof.
Yeah, no.
You know what else I saw? You know what Regal tweeted yesterday that got me mad? They're like, okay, let me pull up the tweet. They're like these. They said these are the bringbacks. These are the bringbacks we're showing in theaters, and Bohemian Rhapsody is on there. I'm like, why is Bohemian Rhapsody on? It says starting July 17th. These are the great bringbacks coming at Regal. Bloodshot.
I'm gonna risk Corona.
Beauty and the Sonic.
Yeah.
2017 Beauty and the Beast. What?
They're coming back.
I love Beauty and the Beast, but 1994 version.
Yeah, let's talk these re-releases because I definitely wanted to.
Oh, they're doing Interstellar. Oh, I did not know that. That's
okay. The Nolan.
I need to rewatch Interstellar.
All these Nolan films that they're planning, because I know Inception's set. I need them to do IMAX.
Oh, I totally forgot about Inception coming out. What, July 17th?
July
Yeah.
17th
And that's supposed
with
to have, like,
extended
preview of,
looks at Warner Brothers
I
Slate.
gotta watch that.
Yeah, definitely.
That's my thing. I'm like,
I got
that's
to.
my
I'm sorry.
crack.
I'm
Like I
risking it.
can't just.
I'm risking it.
Like,
That's my crack.
but also I'm not gonna lie. I would love to see Bohemian Rhapsody again.
You're
Oh, yeah,
insane,
I know you
Nathan.
would go.
Get out of here.
Dude,
Get out of here.
I love the music.
Oh my-
It's great speakers.
Go download the iTunes album, whatever.
I don't have an
Listen to
IMAX
me.
speaker to play my MP3.
Oh my gosh.
But also, I enjoy.
You know what you can do? Go get 2 toilet rolls, put them up to your ears, and then it'll be IMAX. Da-na-na-na.
I mean, I blow
Oh my
out so
gosh.
many earbud speakers just kicking it on. But
That's hilarious.
okay, but like
Best
yeah,
film editing.
Dude, I walked to the bathroom. I was at a restaurant for a watch
man.
party, and I got up and left the table. I was so mad. I couldn't.
Best film editing. Got to give it to the Academy, right, guys? They're changing.
Nathan is like,
No, I'm
Yeah.
thinking back because like one of the unreleased recordings I have is I reacted to that entire Oscar ceremony, and
why do I remember like watching that when after we became friends for some reason? I remember.
no, I sent some playbacks from my phone off of my computer. I remember because like I was pretty hyped up some Bohemian Rhapsody wins, but I especially was flabbergasted at Green Book's win.
Oh
I
yeah,
wasn't shocked, but I'm like disappointed. Yeah, that was bad.
I was just stunned. I was like, of all
What came
things,
out that
I was
year?
really rooting for Black Klansman to win. I was like,
Oh, yeah, that was 2018, right? So you had a Black
Yeah.
Panther, Black Klansman, Green Book. Oh, A Star Is Born.
yeah.
was my
Stars Born.
Did freaking
and
The Favorite wasn't that nominated?
The Favorite, yes.
Olivia
Olivia
Colman.
Colman got her.
That was my
Yeah.
favorite win of the night, man. That was great.
That was great. Okay, but back on track with these re-releases.
Yeah, I think the only one I'm really
Lego Movie. I agree.
curious to see. No, I'm not gonna see Lego Movie. I never saw Lego Movie 2. I've had so many opportunities to see it.
I did. I quite enjoyed it. I haven't rewatched it since, but
Are you guys going to see Lord of the Rings if they play? I mean, they're playing at Regal.
I still don't watch it. Even
Hell
have
yeah.
TVs.
I think it was back in like 2012. They did a marathon of the Lord of the Rings. Obviously, I wasn't like old enough to like participate in those at the time, which sucks because I would within a heartbeat go to a Lord of the Rings marathon. That sounds so fun. I saw all the Hobbits in theaters, but
Me too.
I really wanted
Who
to
had
see.
it too?
I saw it's my least favorite, but I saw Battle of the Five Armies twice because I wanted to see the Force Awakens teaser again.
That's cool.
Yeah, man.
I'm not a huge Lord of the Rings fan, so I don't think I'll be
Wow.
driven to see
I don't like actively
They're
like,
long movies.
I don't actively visit the fandom of it, but every time I do revisit it, I'm blown away.
I think I need to revisit with modern Evan eyes because I think I just
You
grew up
do.
on it, and I'm like, it's just so. I don't want to say it's boring, but it just never.
Oh,
there was
go
never.
watch them right now. Hang
There was
on.
never a character I was attached to, and people keep saying, "Evan, you got to watch the whatever it's called, the extended cuts." I'm like, 3 hours for.
You don't
each
even
of
need to
these
watch
movies?
the extended cuts. Like,
Yeah,
Okay.
it really just like adds to like
Perfect.
the lore build.
I really need to because I've never given those movies a full chance. I mean, I've watched those movies plenty of times. I like the Two Towers a lot.
Return of the King.
No!
is
What?
they
is
moved
exactly
Tenet.
4 hours.
They moved Tenet
Officially,
to mid-August.
where
Oh,
where are you hearing this?
Yeah,
Oh wait,
no.
I'm sending in chat.
I see it. Collider just posted it.
the sadness in your voice, man.
Yeah, I thought his cat died or something.
Oh,
Paul Rudd says
that doesn't do anything. Mid-August doesn't do anything.
It was August 14th, right?
Warner Brothers, what are you doing?
August 12th. August 12th. Is that a
So when do you
Wednesday?
think they're gonna screen the Inception stuff? Do you think they'll stick with that, or
They'll stick with it. Yeah, there's
12 days. 12 days. You got to be joking. That is.
Tenet is coming out on a Wednesday. Interesting.
God? Why do studios pull that?
I hate that. I hate that. Right?
This is-
Like,
Okay, like I can
The worst
get,
was Far From Home on Monday night at midnight.
okay. No,
No,
here's
it's
the thing. Here's the thing. I can get behind Wednesday premieres if it's like a Thanksgiving holiday thing that they
Yes,
do.
Totally.
if it's a
1,000%.
holiday
I
week.
get those.
Yes.
1,000%.
But when you're in like a random like June or July setting, but I guess August here, which is weird. For middle, it's weird, especially Far From Home, which was bogus because I went midnight on a Monday. Who goes midnight
Yeah,
on
that
a
was. I was so tired the next day. Like, I got home at like 3 a.m. and I'm like, what?
I mean,
did I
I
do
went back again 7 p.m. on Tuesday, but like,
that? Yeah.
Yeah, with the audience.
But this is
when I went to the Monday opening, it was like a handful of people. It's just like spoilers for Far From Home. It's like 5 of us who are like, "Is that J.K. Simmons?"
What the heck? So it says, according to sources, Disney is also expected to push back Mulan.
Oh, definitely. So July is dead, right, guys?
Mm-hmm.
I think July.
There's no summer movie season, dude.
There's none.
It's just the fall movies.
Summer for me ends in July, anyways.
Okay, here's the statement. We're choosing to open the movie midweek to allow audiences to discover the film in their own time. We can plan to play longer over an extended play period far beyond the norm to develop a very yet. Oh, that's interesting.
I guess
So they're planning to just have Tenet in theaters for like past the theatrical window as it gets back. Like Tenet's just going to be there.
So I'm going to be able to see Tenet and then see No Time to Die?
Maybe.
Interesting.
But what's the blocking of this?
I mean, I think most movies will end up like, 3 months? I think that's the usual.
Yeah, so their goal here is like play.
I think like most like that aren't just like the giant temple franchise films will run like 2 months.
2 months, yeah. Like,
and then by the end of the third, they're out on home media.
So it sounds like they want to double it. Probably.
Double their.
They said we're choosing to open the movie midweek to allow audience to discover the film in their own time, and we plan to play longer over an extended play period far beyond the norm to develop a very different yet successful release strategy.
So back to what Nathan said earlier, can we go Tuesday night to see Tenet?
Maybe.
That'd be interesting. When I'm busy Wednesdays. Don't do this to me because of all these spoilers and stuff, man. I hate Wednesdays.
It's still just like why would you just honestly you should just move it up a day if you're gonna July 31st and August 12th make zero difference.
I agree. But to be honest, any fall date makes no difference. So what's the difference between then and October? Like,
you're right.
Don't give them ideas.
There's a fly in there. But yeah, I don't think
but I mean it has to be out before Dune. So they're not gonna try to overlap any.
And Wonder Woman.
There needs to be space. I still find it odd that.
So I bet it'll play till October. I bet it'll be out till.
I still find it odd they got No Time to Die so close to Dune. I mean, I know it's a month span, and like it'll give
you're fine. Because same thing with Frozen and Star Wars. Like
I'll be curious now, because the only really unprecedentedly long box office run that we've seen, like that had like random increases and stuff, is Avatar in 2009, where it had like a somewhat good opening weekend, and it just went up and went down.
I think it was consistent like 70 million around that ball.
77 the first one, 75 the second weekend.
Now, Tenet would nowhere near get any of those numbers, but we could see a different trajectory of box office numbers. We mentioned that in the very beginning of like, what is the box office going to look like? We could see what looks like to us low weekly numbers, but if if a movie is in theaters for 5 months and things start to pick back up, and then we could see an increase in Tenet's box office as the situation de-escalates itself.
I think that was the compromise between them and probably Nolan. And like, I bet they're probably like, okay, we're going to delay it one more time. And in order to make as much money as possible, because this was already going to be a risk anyways, let's just put it out in theaters for as long as we can and see what cracks, see what happens.
I like it because it trusts the theatrical model. And of course, that's Nolan would always want to do. But the theaters, it's like they need Tenet. So I'm glad. So
is Mulan going to come out before or after August 12th? What do you guys think?
After.
Are they going to wait like August? What's the week after that? The 18th? Or I think
they'll drop the same week. Wait, Bill and Ted moved up a week, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
People are excited for Bill and Ted.
Okay, I'm going to
Nathan is.
I've never watched those movies.
Well, that's what I watched this week, so I'm going to get into that in a bit.
Oh.
I think.
Not for the first time.
I think Mulan will drop August 28th.
Okay. I say August 21st. But yeah, August in general. What do you guys think now for opening weekend? For the 5-day, I guess. What do you guys think?
So like Wednesday to Sunday?
Wednesday to Sunday. What do you guys think?
Wednesday to Sunday, what the numbers would be?
I'm thinking 50 million.
50 to 65 million. 65 million max.
Yeah, I'm probably with Carson. I think I think the lowest it'll make would be 45.
Me too.
No, honestly, it depends. It depends how things open back up.
Because, like we said,
It
people
could
are
be
not
like
wearing masks anymore. So
It could be like 25 million. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like,
over
it could
5
be like
days. That'd be crazy.
But think about it. If it just
you're
does
right.
like $20 million weeks for
And these are limited capacity too.
5 months, 30% capacity theaters, like it could just add up over time.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Then what if like the second wave comes through again and it's just like we're in trouble right when we're in the middle of the second wave and like we hit the tenant release date again, we're just like, never mind. We're pushing it a year. Never coming.
Wow.
Yeah, again, yeah, like anything can happen. Like there could be a spike. And
yeah. But I mean, I guess we're kind of reverberating at this point, but I do wanted to also just because we are quite missing the theater, talk with all of us here about our personal favorite theater experiences we've had going to the movies. Wanted to throw it to you guys if you guys had any thoughts in regard to that.
I can't remember a lot of great ones. I remember I had a great experience for Civil War, Captain America Civil War, not the Civil War.
I definitely that's a great one for me. It was that was the first film I ever did audience reactions for, which is so fun.
Wow.
Because I like for years I've watched audience reactions since I think like 2013.
Okay.
It was a big year when I started getting into that, and just like watching the whole model of it, I was so fascinated. And it was really when I saw Age of Ultron, and Vision picked up Thor's hammer, and everybody freaking out, that I initially was like, okay, I really need to do this someday. And I knew Civil War was going to be such a big event because it's our heroes fighting each other, and I was just like, I need to do this. So I ran a test like the night prior. I hit record on my phone to see if it would just to see like how long it would run, and I went to bed and I woke up like 7 hours later and it was still running. I was like, so I can do this, it won't cut off, it'll work.
That's cool.
So I go and it was a great weekend too.
You heard yourself snoring and everything.
I didn't listen, I didn't play it back. But that was a great weekend too because it was the same weekend as the National Free Comic Book Day, first Saturday of May. But yeah, I go to the premiere and just like so many things happen because it's great. It's the whole introduction to Spidey. You get the Giant Man. Everybody's freaking out, which seems so tame in comparison now since we've had Endgame.
Right.
But I've had so many dialogue recordings of different screenings of like both big and small. One funny one. I don't think I'll get in trouble for this. We're fine. I didn't leak it. But I went to a pre-screening of King Arthur: Legend of the Sword.
Oh, you're not getting in trouble for any.
No, I don't think I am.
I was like,
it was funny.
We just got copyrighted.
No, that was the thing. Apparently, like Warner Brother actual executive came to like intro the film, and they were like going on about stuff, but they were also saying, "Do not record anything." I was just like,
and you did?
Well, okay. I'm vlogging my experience, right? And I know I can dig it up somewhere. Actually, I think I might have it up on my channel. The person coming out and stuff, and it's at that point they were like, please don't record anything, because obviously it was like an early screening, and it was at that point I do stop recording video, but I kept the dialogue rolling because obviously like, nobody notices that, and I never released it like prior to the Blu-ray release. I haven't released it at all, but like that tends to be my rule anyway to avoid copyright stuff. I just think it's funny just looking back at that because they're just like, don't do it. And I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, I remember I saw Wonder Woman 2 weeks early when they did those fan screenings.
Oh, you both?
Yeah, and they're like, you can tweet your reaction, but you're screwed if you tweet anything else. Like,
what are they going to do?
But yeah, I remember that was a great summer for me because I think I went to Wonder Woman pre-screening.
Great summer.
I remember
Baby Driver that summer.
Oof.
All those. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Oof. It's right. But
I still have the DVD. I should watch it sometime. But what's it called? I remember I saw Wonder Woman and I was late and I had to sit in the front freaking row and I was like looking up at it. I was like, oh, this sucks. You can't be late to those pre-screenings.
No, you had to be 2 hours.
Oh
early.
Yeah, that was the thing at my King Arthur thing too. It was a first come first served seating. We were like a little ways like off center, but it was still fine. Mm-hmm. I also got like a official like baseball cap with the King Arthur crown logo.
Of course you did.
I got swag.
How did you like this movie, Nathan?
Huh?
How did you like King Arthur? Was there a lot of low points in that one too?
I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it.
Oh my god!
Like I was watching, I was just like, all right. I mean, I guess I feel the Guy Ritchie-ness, but at the same time, I'm just like, all right. I don't. I mean, I could definitely say I had like way more fun with The Gentleman for sure.
The Gentleman is great.
I think. Well, I'm trying to think of my favorite, or just like if like 3 theater experience off the top of my head would be like, well, probably Force Awakens for the first time.
Oh, that was.
There would not be nothing like that. Nothing.
Never.
I
remember
like.
I went to the movie theater like 5 hours beforehand.
Yeah.
So there was no reserved seating. I just like got there, got my seat. It was great.
I remember I was like rushing my friends because we didn't have reserved seats either. It was just like we had tickets. We got tickets really early.
Me too.
Because we like went up to the theater and actually got them.
Oh wow.
But then, we got in there and we like. Well, I'm like, come on, guys, we gotta hustle. We ended up getting good seats, but it was like
it's empty.
I just remember like vividly walking through the Mall of America in Minnesota, just like, and my friend just making jokes after me, like, Han Solo died.
Oh my god!
And just, I'm like, do not say that.
You're gonna get beat up. Yeah, you will die. I can't protect you.
Oh my god!
I won't vouch for you. You're
yeah, me too. I'll be like, it's all you.
But man, just seeing
you die.
The Ray Saver moment in Force Awakens on the big screen for the first time, there's lightning in a bottle. Like there will be nothing like that.
That's a great moment. I'm like, I wonder when was the first time I fell in love with Kylo Ren. I think I fell in love with Kylo Ren pre like Force Awakens, like the marketing and everything. I was like, I like this character.
I love the design.
I like the design.
See, I wasn't on like Star Wars Twitter and stuff back then, so only my knowledge was only from the official TV spots and trailers. So I wasn't aware of any of the like the leaks and the what the consensus was with everything.
Either. Yeah, I wasn't either. Like I watched like Collider Jedi Council,
yeah,
and all that stuff. Like, and they did mention like certain like stuff, but I was the same way. I watched some TV spots. I watched some stuff. I wasn't too deep into Star Wars like fandom. But yeah, I mean,
I remember dreaming of a sequence of a TV spot that like I had never seen before because it wasn't in the TV spot yet. But then the TV spot came out with what I dreamt, and I was like,
I am a genius.
Yeah.
One with the four.
No. And before that, I watched like Adam Driver and Girls. So I'm like, okay, I'm a huge fan of this guy.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I really didn't fall into the Adam Driver experience until like his popularity was rising a little. I think it was like really the kickoff with not just seeing him in Star Wars, but I think it was supplanted with his first SNL appearance with Matt Radar. Like just that like really got me like
that was 2016, right? Yeah.
Okay, but let me break down this theater experience. My whole Star Wars drink. Like marathons are a big thing. Nowadays, when I go to a marathon like the Best Picture Showcase I just did in February, God, I missed that. It's it feels so tame now that I've actually been doing like 3 to 4 movies a day, recreationally. It's weird. I think I desensitized myself to the speciality of it, but it's still fun events I love to go to. But the first marathon I ever did go to was Force Awakens, and painting that picture was the way my theater was. It started having reserved seating, but it didn't have reserved seating for IMAX yet. Was the thing, and I would always go IMAX, so I was still fine. But the Force Awakens, like what they did was they were showcasing a marathon of 1 through 7, and this was big for me because it's the chance to see every Star Wars ever on the big screen for the first time. The only film I'd ever seen from Star Wars in theaters was Revenge of the Sith 2005. So it was not only cool to do that because I'm sure I've said this many times, but like seeing Revenge of the Sith with my dad in 2005 versus going to this marathon with my dad in 2015 where I'm taking him essentially, it's like a poetry, it rhymes. But it was such a fun event going to Force Awakens, the whole marathon, because like it started at 1 a.m. with Phantom Menace, which was so crazy.
Was your dad with you the whole time?
Huh?
Was your dad with you like from 1 a.m. to?
Yeah, I'm sure he was dozing in and out at times. Who wouldn't?
My dad would not do that. That's crazy.
It's funny because like the whole experience is funny. I tried to purposely rig my sleep schedule so I stayed up the whole night prior so I could pass out to wake up at like 5 to wake up at like a later time. But I woke up at 5 p.m. and I couldn't sleep anymore. I was like, God. All right. So I just wrote out the rest of the day till 1 a.m. and we sit down as Phantom Menace. I only went to the bathroom 2 times during that marathon during playbacks. One time for Phantom Menace, one time Attack of the Clones. I don't think I would do that anymore because I hate missing stuff. And I'm way more trained now with my bladder. It was fun because you did a Force Awakens Attack of Clones, and then it starts getting to like 7 a.m. in the morning for Revenge of the Sith, and they had
what a
like
time to watch Revenge of the Sith. Wow.
Yeah,
Like,
not only that, but like the theater's not open yet to the public, so like they bring in like Krispy Kreme glazed donuts for free.
Wow.
that's
like,
fun.
Oh, that's cool! Like actual like breakfast. Sugar sucks, but it was good to have that. And you had like constant refills of drinks. You had like a popcorn voucher and stuff. But like throughout the day, we would like eat like the actual like meals. I think my dad bought us mini breakfast pizzas from the concession.
Dude, that's awesome.
Oh,
So, and Revenge of the Sith for some reason like flies by so fast for me.
great pace, yeah.
But then when we got to the original trilogy, I was like super hyped because like this is unprecedented. This is a film
Right.
before my era, 4 years before my era, before I was born, and I get to see it. And like by the time they're like running around the Death Star, I start getting drowsy. And I'm like, no, no. But we planned ahead because my dad brought us 5-hour energies. So I was like, yes, let's go. And
Beautiful.
we did that, and it worked, and it was like cool. And then I think we only had that one though. So like I go through A New Hope.
Empire, or I guess it would have been.
Yeah, no, I go through A New Hope and the Death Star explosion and everything, and it's amazing to see on the big screen. We get through all of Empire, which I also felt blew by really fast. I couldn't completely take it in, but it was cool. The thought of like seeing the whole experience, the I am your father moment and everything. Back to A New Hope was funny because people laughed at only Imperial stormtroopers are so precise. But it's just fun moments like that, like Luke and Leia kiss, and people are like, ah.
Yeah, I've yet to see any Star Wars original trilogy on the big screen except for A New Hope at Star Wars in concert.
I bet that's incredible. But the thing was, like, when we did get to Return of the Jedi, people, I wish I started doing audience reactions back then, because people they applauded at the destruction of the Death Star. It was like, oh, because we're about to get to Force Awakens, like we're really there.
Yeah.
And they do the whole victory celebration ending, and everybody's just like, yeah, we made it. And there's like an hour block between then and Force Awakens, so like we're just kind of walking around. I'm just like, I'm full of hype, but also I'm lacking sleep. I've been eating mess of foods, and I had a 5-hour energy, so I think something was happening with my heart. So as that's going, they start playing normal trailers and stuff, and a lot of us are also kind of weary because the theater lights are still on. We're like, you better not. Better not do it. But they did fix it, and they do the long time ago, and my heart starts racing more, and I'm like, oh,
I can't. I'm
and like it does the Star Wars, and the Luke Skywalker has vanished, and I start like hyperventilating. I'm just like,
Yeah.
I'm lacking like all the like necessary rest I have, but I'm also fueled with hype, so I'm just like, oh my god,
oh my gosh.
It's such a wild time. So, and I saw Force Awakens like a couple, like again that same weekend in IMAX going back. The marathon had it displayed in 3D, which was plenty fun. It's surreal taking in all of Force Awakens for the first time when you're on such like 27 hours no sleep. Because you're just like running through, and it's like, oh my god, it is the Falcon. What happened to Han?
Yeah, right.
But then when you go back, I went back. I saw it in IMAX 3D the same weekend, which was cool because like that Star Destroyer shot was like right in your face. Like it looked.
Oh,
really
the
cool.
intro shot. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, like Force Awakens was such a time. Rogue One was a crazy time because everything was still new, and I'm like, I was deeply invested in Rogue One itself, that to the point where I was legit in tears.
Wow.
I was crying over the characters that I couldn't completely take in the Vader hallway scene because I was just like, what's happening?
Wow.
So that goes, and The Last Jedi was great because
I was so hyped for The Last Jedi.
They did an IMAX double feature of Force Awakens and Last Jedi. And
Gosh, I wish
I went to that day. I had an opportunity.
It's so cool. I bought all 3 collectible popcorn tins for it. They even had like giant trading cards that has like R2, a Porg, and BB-8.
I was so mad because I had to fly home. I finished finals
Yeah.
on the day of the Last Jedi premiere and flew home, and then drove to the theater like immediately.
Wow.
Like, and after that happened, we got to the theater and the projector wasn't working. And my brain waves of like negative sleep. So it was kind of like that because I stayed up late for finals and I couldn't sleep because I was hyped. And then I also tired from traveling. And then I get home and the projector isn't working. I'm like stressed. Like it was like 15 minutes before they got it fixed. So gosh. And so they're like, we're skipping the trailers, or we're gonna play one trailer and then we're gonna go into it. And so they played like one trailer and then it was already here. I was like, okay, now I'm not prepared. Like go back. Like I have never been more vocal in the theater than my first viewing of The Last Jedi. Like,
me too. Last Jedi had me rolling, man.
Like, whoa! When Yoda showed up, I was like over my seat. I was like back here,
dude. Okay, it was crazy. I think what probably helped was because it's a specific sequel trilogy event. I was with fans of The Force Awakens, no doubt, because they're rescreening. Yeah. And my measure of it, I was like, because I remember back when I saw Force Awakens in IMAX, I was like, the only time the screen expanded was when the Falcon was flying around Jakku. And I was like, that was the measure. And I was like, if they don't have that happen, it's not the real IMAX print. But it did happen. And I was like, it's the best day ever.
Oh my God.
And
so many moments in that movie I just had.
Yeah, but specifically, there were there again, like 2 moments of like big hype. One was when Rey caught the saber. Everybody was super hyped.
Everybody.
Especially for this re-release. We all knew it was coming, but it's so hype. And then like to the end with Luke, because we're finally going to see him again, everybody was hyped. And then when I get to Last Jedi, the whole screening I had, everybody's vibing it and having a great time.
Yeah, everyone was vibing. Yeah. Which was so strange to walk out of that theater into utter chaos on the internet.
Right? Like
I almost immediately.
So many people.
I didn't see too much chaos that night. Like I saw people like,
because I didn't really go on the timeline. I was just tweeting.
Yeah,
I tweeted my thoughts. I got a reply saying like, "Really?" Like question mark. But it wasn't until like the morning. I'm just like, boom! It's like, oh my God, people did not like it, which is crazy. I remember watching The Last Jedi for the first time, and that scene with Rey, like she's like, "Let me see my parents," and I'm like, my heart is pounding. I'm like, are they really going to show? Like, who is? Like, what the heck? What's going on? We're going to see it right now.
Yeah.
And then in her face, I'm like, whoa! Like,
dude, it's so crazy.
Your best weekend of all time.
Yeah,
I went once every single day. I went all 4 days.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
I would do that now. I mean, I was gonna do that for Rise of Skywalker.
And like the second viewing of The Last Jedi was the best because it was kind of like what Nathan said. I took my parents, and I don't think I've ever cried more because I was like with my dad and like seeing my dad see Luke's journey. I was bawling like, and my parents were looking at me like, "What are you doing?" Like, and I'm like, "This is just like sentimental right now." It hit
everybody. Like everybody cheered when like Luke's big reveal. He wasn't on crate. Everything.
Oh yeah. The Holdo scene, of course, right? I mean,
the Holdo. Yeah. Like, whoa.
Jeez. Audience is like.
I could hear everybody. It was so weird. It was like
the adrenaline that was in my veins when I thought Ben had already was going the redemption route. Now in the middle. Of
right.
I was like
those 2 lines, like right before he's like.
Yeah. I was like, the possibilities where we could go. I thought, like, it could be on our side. I was like,
yeah, like we're doing this early. Like we're doing this now. Like, okay, dang.
I thought that was like we've already done the throne room. Let's go.
And I was like, what's gonna happen?
Yeah, so like the whole Last Jedi experience was great. And getting to Solo was a bummer because it was lackluster of its box office run, obviously.
People did not make any noise during Solo.
Mine was
it sucked for me because nobody made sound for me for Solo because I had to go to a standard screen. The fan event and IMAX was taken over by the fan event that I couldn't afford at the time, so I couldn't make it in, and that sucked so much. I still haven't seen Solo in IMAX. I hope they re-release it someday because I would love to see the Kessel Run that way. But the entire time of Solo, it's pretty dead silent. I'm just like.
Yeah, no, I think only during the mall scene, people were like, "Oh, what is that?"
Well, even then, like, it was still nobody, but I'm like here, like, is that Sam Witwer?
Yeah.
And then, like, Rise of Skywalker was a weird one because, like, that's what a 180 feeling. Okay, we
I
all
know what you mean, dude. I
we
know
all
what you
see it
mean.
the same night.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
go and like I'm set like I told you, like I saw Endgame like 8 times, which was wild. And Endgame
Mad
was a
lad.
great time, but I'm gonna stick with my Star Wars experience. I was like, I'm gonna see Tross 10 times. Let's go.
Me too. I was like, I'm going to go as many times as possible.
I'm going to go twice each a day opening weekend. And I was
There's
set.
no way this movie can be bad. It's J.J. Abrams.
Yeah, so I had both of my screenings set for Thursday, one screening for Friday, and I was like, I was gonna get more as we go. So I watched my first screening, and I'm going in because I'm so hyped because it's the finale, and I'm like, here we go. This is gonna be the best day ever. And it goes through, and I'm just like, what about Ray's parents? What are you doing?
No, I was like, no. I'll never forget because I went with my best friends, like my best high school friends, like, and they knew how invested I was in Raylo and in like Ray Nobody. And when Kylo says like, it's not your power, it's his power, or something like that. You're a Palpatine. My friends looked at me, and I'm just like, I'm not happy, guys. Like I gotta say, I don't like that. Even 5 minutes later, they were talking about something else, like Chewie, like supposedly dead or whatever. I'm like,
I didn't believe that
guys,
at all.
Me too. I was like, it's so stupid. Yeah, you got another transport.
Like, they'll fix that. I was more stunned at the fact she used Force lightning, which I was cool with.
I didn't like it. I was like, it felt so fan servicey. I'm like,
yeah,
no, out of nowhere.
It doesn't make sense why they did it. I think it's cool, but I don't like.
She did it.
I know
what
there's
you
a
mean.
connection,
Yeah.
which doesn't make sense because Dooku does it, but whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
No, but like it's my whole viewing of it, like to the point of Pisana, I'm vibing it enough where I'm like, okay, we're in this fun adventure. Like I'm ready to see how this wraps up. But it's when they start going like, I recognize that ship, and like asking about her parents stuff, and I'm just like, what are you
I
doing?
was like, can we get over this? Like, could this be a first act thing,
like,
please?
we're completely doing what Disney has said they wouldn't do. That like, they would always avoid their
I was so disappointed.
Theory stuff, and then they're falling into it. And I'm like, what are you doing? And they did the Palpatine stuff, and I'm just like, come on.
When Kylo dies, I'm like, oh, because I remember I was willing, because when Rey killed the aliens,
accept this movie.
Me too.
Because as long as like, because they did the whole Ben Demption with Han, and I was like, that was a beautiful scene.
That was beautiful.
We're gearing up. We're going.
We're gearing up. Here we go.
And we're jumping down the Exegol temple, and he's like, "Ow!" And it's like,
I lost my mind. I was like, "Let's go!"
Yeah, I was like, "Here we go!" And he like, no, it sucks because like to the perfect moment, to the very end where it's perfect, is when he puts the sabers up with Rey, and it's beautiful shot, and Palpatine takes him back, and it's just like,
what are you doing?
Okay, that sucks. Like, we'll get out of this.
Stupid, but yeah,
we're
obviously he's alive, but
yeah, and then he just throws him away. He throws the central Skywalker away.
Off the cliff.
What was the stupid quote? It was like, as was done by me.
As once I fell.
Yeah.
So, the last Skywalker.
So stupid.
I remember every line.
Oh man. And I remember because like I still hate Rey Palpatine. It's still bad. I would have still not liked that about the movie. But when Ben's crawling back, I'm like, okay, so he got stabbed by Rey. And then he got thrown over a cliff. There's no way to kill him now, right? Just movie on.
No, it sucks.
Do that to the character.
It sucks because the ghosts don't reach out to him
at
all.
He's so alone.
Like, all right, but you know, it's fine because okay,
it's fine. It's fine.
I mean, it's weird because the way things are going. Because I'm like, is Rey dead? And then Ben's coming back, and I'm like,
and then we get the kiss, and we're like,
when Rey was dead, I knew.
Perfect. We're here.
Here we go. And then
when Rey was dead, I knew it was a wrap for Ben. It's the same thing for like when Iron Man held the gauntlet. I'm like, oh, it's a wrap for Iron Man then, right? Like movie logic means he's dead. So then when I saw
everything happened so fast, I couldn't fully process what was gonna happen. So like when they did the kiss stuff, I was on cloud 9 for like 10 seconds.
I audibly said yes, and people were like laughing. I'm like, yes, this is what I want.
I was like, oh, they did it. I whispered, I'm like, oh, they did it. Like, oh my God.
we got there.
We got it.
And then he leans back, and I'm like,
no.
Look, just pass out like Rose. It's fine. But like,
it was funny because like Kylo is one of my favorite movie characters of all time now. When Iron Man died, I was bawling. I was shedding tears. When Kylo died, I was just like deflated. I didn't even cry, which is crazy. I was just so lost.
Okay. So my route, okay, it's supposed to be about my theater experiences. This isn't a Tross review.
Yeah, you're right.
So when Ben does So by the end of Rise of Skywalker, I was sitting in my seat rather deflated because everybody else is just like, all right, Star Wars. Like, I'm just sitting
people
here
start
like,
clapping at the end. Right? I'm like,
I need a
no,
process.
it's funny though because I'm with like one of my longtime best friends, and like we start bouncing off ideas off of each other, and I'm just like, this is weird. And like he looks over at me, and he's shocked because you know how much of a positive person I am. He's like, wait, did you hate it? And I was like,
you're like, I don't know.
no,
Did I?
I don't know.
I hate some stuff in it, but like. So like I'm like sitting in like the car with him, and like he's getting ready to like go home, but like I still have another screening to go to, and I'm just like,
yeah, that's right. You went
do I do
back
it?
to back.
I'm just like, I don't know, and like I go back in, and you know my initial reaction if I sent was that like Will Smith,
Yeah.
and I was just like, huh, and I'm sitting. There's no sadder feeling. Like there's no reason I should feel sad and feel so deflated when you have a long time ago on screen.
Me too.
And like the lights go down and it says that, the Lucasfilm logo, and everybody around me who's seeing it for the first time, it's just like, all right. And I'm just like
gearing up for it. Yeah.
Gearing up for whatever.
I'm literally just like, all right. And it's like, boom, Star Wars. And I'm like, yeah. But like, what was weird the second viewing is like when I knew what was coming, I had more of a fun time. And my initial thought by the end of it was like, oh, thank God I did like it. But then, like, as I keep bouncing ideas off, I'm like, this isn't right. And so it was the third time I did see it was when I was like, that's when I cried because I was like, he's really gone. This is the end. This sucks.
Yeah, I felt awful. I think for me, the movie just got worse by hearing other podcasts and people talk about it because they were kind of like saying what I couldn't say to myself. I'm like, I just didn't like this movie.
I don't want to admit it to myself.
Exactly. I was like, I don't want to admit it. I was walking out of the theater just talking to my friends like, I don't think I liked it, which is so weird for a saga movie in current times. Like, yeah. It was surprising.
Is this how people felt with prequel age?
I assume they
are. Yeah.
But I mean, I can only imagine, like, because I've also like come around to accept Tross, and I like really all it boils down to is the Rey Palpatine and the Ben ending is what I don't like. The rest I accept as a pretty good Star Wars. But
yeah,
I've also like made my own piece because like I wrote my own ending, and I can do that because
like on the TL, like when I see like the Ben and Han thing, I'll retweet it. Like I love that scene.
Yeah, there's a lot of great moments for sure, but it's just there's moments that are odd. I know Carson has the favorite "You'll take both sabers" Texago.
Oh god.
Oh god.
What a waste of Luke in the movie.
The best line, of course,
absolute waste.
Must be some Sith magic or sorcery.
I will say I say every single podcast. The fact that there was no scene between Luke and Ben is like the most
criminal.
I don't. It's literally telegraphed for you. Like I don't know how you did. Like,
I don't think since I saw Justice League in theaters that I felt so incomplete because I knew there was stuff. There's like stuff that's supposed to be here that I know.
I still look at the Ben death scene. I'm like, is it reversed? I know. I don't
like.
I remember the whole theory.
It looks more natural than like it doesn't. Just like
I fell deep in that hole. Yeah.
It pains me the most because like when they did it, they don't follow up on him anymore. He fades away. He had no dialogue other than
there is no reflection on his death.
Nobody talks about him. There's no even a Force ghost with Luke and Leia. Which why wouldn't you when Leia's there?
It's so odd because he loves Luke and Leia. Anyways, this isn't hyperspace hype. This is
okay. But like and this went from like a good theater experience to not so.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I have a lot of stories about bad theater experience.
No, it is weird though because I saw I saw it both times Thursday. I saw it Friday.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of regret doing this now because, like, again, feel audience with stuff. But like, I felt so glum that I skipped my Saturday screenings altogether. I refunded them. And I just like because like the biggest day should be a Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't go. I was that let down. But then I did go Sunday again, and I was like, all right. And I cried again because Ben's gone.
I didn't want to refund, but I went off Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then that was it.
Yeah. And then, like, way later down the road, it turns out I end up I see it a fifth time. And it turns out it's actually the last screening ever of Tross at my theater. It's the very last screening, which means it's also, like, the very last screening of Star Wars as it is. So when I was watching it through that perspective, I had a pretty enjoyable time because I was like, it's Star Wars again for the last time. You get the final crawl, and everything, and it's like it's interesting to view from that point. And I had an enjoyable time. It's just like those things because I'd already come to terms with like how I was with stuff. But yeah, it was interesting. Just because I was seeing like multiple movies that day. I think that was the same day I saw what was it? Weathering with You, which was great.
Oh
Yeah,
because you.
I think I saw Doolittle that day too. It's such a like 180.
Oh, you saw that movie? Interesting.
Yeah, like the first movie I saw that day, I saw Doolittle in Dolby, and
Of
I really enjoyed the opening of Doolittle because it's a cool animation. But that's it. But yeah, I'm excited to get back to the theaters to like really experience everything. Get my usual concession. Well, that's a cool question. I want to like end off on. What is your concession snack?
I don't usually go to concessions; they're overpriced and they're useless. But I usually stop by a gas station and get sour Skittles. That's my number one candy.
Illegal. No, sorry.
I don't like to eat.
This
I
was
like
the
to
worst
eat popcorn during the previews, if anything. Yeah. If like I'm with people that get popcorn, then I'm like, oh cool, I'll eat popcorn. But usually I'll get like, if I get anything, it's because of my AMC like perks or whatever, like the $5 thing. I'm like, okay, I'll get a lemonade and I'll get like a medium lemonade, and that's it. I don't want to be munching during the movie. But I like those like cookie dough bites. I used to get those a lot.
That would be my go-to.
What are those called? What's the brand called? I can't remember.
It's cookie dough bites.
Just cookie dough bites. Yeah.
This is what they're called. Yeah, no, that's what I do. For just like concession snack wise, I get popcorn. Normally I'll get an upgraded size just because it's included in the perk. I don't necessarily finish it, but like I'll get popcorn. I'll get usually like an icy, and I get the cookie dough bites as well because they pair delicious. Like the chocolate pairs deliciously with the popcorn. But if I'm like having a long stint of where I'll need like an actual like meal, I'll get chicken tenders and probably curly fries because they taste pretty good.
Tenders. What are you, 6 years old?
Yeah, it is a recreational meal.
That's great.
It's also theater food, and like the alternative is I guess like sliders and stuff or pizza.
So do you get food every time you go to the theaters?
If I'm doing long stints, then like somewhere in like the second or third flick, I'll get like a meal. But otherwise, I'll like chill with like a theater snack.
Mm-hmm. I need candy or gum. I just can't go in empty. I gotta have candy or gum.
Typically, I'll have my I'll get like the tub of popcorn because that allows the free refill if I want to have that later for like the long stint of like 3 or 4 flicks.
Yeah,
I remember Rogue One. I brought like entire thing of cough drops because I was literally like dying. Like I had been sick since Arrival came out in like November, and I was just like, I'm still sick. I hate this.
I did that with the Gentleman. Is like I was coming off of a cough, and I was like, I will not.
And like Vader's on screen, and I'm just like,
I gotta breathe.
I'm like trying to like not cough, and I'm like, it's so bad.
I feel like I look suspicious whenever I pop a cough drop in my mouth. Like I wonder if people look at me and say,
yeah, no, it sounds weird because like the wrappers on cough drops are like crinkly, and so you're in the theater, and you're just like. It's so weird.
Gotta wait for the explosion.
Like
literally,
be quiet.
I always time my like snack opening. So often, what I'll do is I'll pre-open my snacks.
I do the same thing. Yeah.
So that way it's ready.
You gotta pre-open it. You gotta pre-open it. You can't just do it.
Yeah, especially candy is the loudest thing.
Yep.
So like while we're either just like sitting here with minimal amount of people, or if a trailer's going, that's when I'll like open up my stuff. So like it's ready to just like function.
Just leave it ready, yeah. And I don't start eating until I see the movie starting. I don't like eating when the credits are or when the trailers are rolling. I gotta start.
Once I start, I won't stop. So like I gotta
exactly. I'm with Nathan. Like if I have a sour Skittle, I gotta have another one. So
I have this weird memory of like there being an accomplishment when I was a kid to like finish the concession. And it's like
wow.
Like you set it down and it's like, oh, we did it. Like, I don't know why. But like nowadays it's just like, oh God, can we even finish it? The popcorn so much. But yeah, it's really interesting. I'm excited to go back to the movies. I know we all are. But one more thing I wanted to discuss is stuff watching this week. Stuff we may introducing new stuff primarily because I messed up and I didn't watch anything new. If you watched anything that you rewatched, I will kick it over to Evan because I believe he did see some new stuff.
Yeah, I'll be quick about this. I saw one new movie, one 2020 movie. and that is the movie 7500, starring Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Oh yeah, I wanted to see that.
It's on Amazon Prime. Well,
Oh no.
I'm sorry. It's not
Come
that
on.
good. Which is surprising to me because I've watched like people from Collider, like Perry Nemiroff. She really liked it. She gave like a 3.5. I wouldn't be able to give this one a fresh rating. I think I would just be like 2.8 out of 5. But overall, I think what I liked about it was that it's a contained thriller in the sense that it's on an airplane.
Just on that plane, right? Yeah.
Just on an airplane, but within the airplane, you're only seeing it from the pilot's cabin. I forget what it's called.
Oh wow.
The pilot's quarter, whatever. That pilot's cabin, the area of the plane. And then the only glimpse of the other side of the plane is when he looks up at the monitor and he sees like the door to the cabin. And he can't really see the entire plane throughout the whole movie.
Will fans of Dunkirk enjoy this?
Probably because they're uncultured. No, I'm kidding.
I'm about to give it a 4.5
fans of
stars.
Onward
Can't wait.
enjoy this.
No, they were also don't like it. But yeah, I think the problem is that the concept of tension. I didn't feel like there was a lot of tension. Felt very cliche in terms of hijacking, and then you could kind of connect to Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character of Tobias, but in like what he was thinking emotionally, because Joseph Gordon-Levitt is a great actor and he can like read his emotions, stuff like that. And there's a lot of subtlety there, but I just felt like a lack of tension throughout. Like I wasn't entertained. I was getting pretty bored throughout. I didn't feel like it was consistently filled with tension or intrigue.
Have you ever seen the Liam Neeson film Nonstop?
Yes, and I love Nonstop because that's like, who is it? Which one is it? What's going on? Yeah. You kind of get a little tease beforehand before you even get onto the plane. But this one starts and ends on a plane, and I just didn't feel that connected to any of the characters. It just wasn't as riveting as I was hoping for. Maybe that was the director's intent to not be as riveting, but I just didn't really connect with it on an emotional level or just on a gripping level. It just wasn't gripping for me. I found myself like snoozing off toward it. And it was a short movie, I think. I think it's only like 90 minutes, if that. So I don't know. It just wasn't for me. But other people I saw saying like, oh, I felt very intrigued. Like there is an aspects of perspectivism in terms of the hijackers. You get to know them a little bit. But otherwise, I felt that was very cliche at points too. So
how was Joseph Gordon-Levitt?
Yeah, he was pretty good overall. He was like the best part of the movie, but I can't give the movie that high of a praise just for him. But if he wasn't in this, I would have been like gone after the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do a what is it, 7,500? And what's that movie you recommended last week? Fast of the Night, or they're both on Amazon Prime.
Fast of Night. That's a great one.
And I'm gonna do both of those.
Double. What is it called? Double
feature.
Double feature.
Yeah, so maybe this weekend I'll do that.
Yeah, I recommend it. Yeah, I'm curious to see what you think.
But yeah, I haven't watched anything new. I've been super busy. But Nathan, have you watched anything? Nothing. I haven't watched anything since The Five Bloods, which is a week ago or whatever.
You guys need to watch My Hero Academia.
I know. I need to catch up.
I need to catch up. I'm gonna start feeling. Well, now I don't know if I'm gonna stick in this setup because it feels like a pain. I didn't. Carsey, you joined late, but like I'm in a whole different setup. It's in front of my TV. It's not my desk.
Oh, so, really?
Yeah, everything's bizarre. Like you're on top of my. You are on my TV right now.
Oh.
It's great. Yeah, so I didn't watch anything new this week, but I was vibing wanting to watch something, so I watched Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Oh.
And I forgot how insanely fun of a film that is. And both films are really short, they're only like 90 minutes. But they're so like great. I love these characters so much. I definitely think first is better than second, but I think they go hand in hand. Really fun. I watched the first one, and then like the next night I was like, I gotta watch the second. It's just, I really do. I love these old characters. They're so great. I think I
look forward to watching because you keep telling me to watch it before Bill and Ted.
I've never gotten to that franchise. Yeah.
I tried describing like how it is for you, Carson, but like I think I both over-explained it and under-explained it at the same time because it's just like, and it's weird because like it is a time travel film, but it's in the sense of like, it doesn't feel like all your stakes is like labeled on time travel, which is funny.
Right. It's just kind of part of it.
Yeah. And like when I like really stopped to think about the rules, like some do definitely work, but there was other points I was like, Are they just doing it for fun? That's highlight. But yeah, no, it's so fun. Keanu being like a party dude in a sense is just so funny. Like in contrast to John Wick.
'Cause the first one was what, 1995?
Is this before Speed?
I think it's 88 was the first one.
Holy,
Is this like
Yeah.
Wow.
before Speed and before? Dang.
that's crazy.
Point
And I
Break?
think it's like maybe 1990 for the
Oh.
Bogus Journey. Both are like hilariously fun, and it got me like even more hyped to see Bill and Ted 3. And like it's like I'm pretty sure it's like a really big teaser of what they showed for Bill and Ted Face the Music, because it's I know like a lot of stuff it feels like a lot of stuff goes down at the same time. Things feel very laid back, like the nature of the characters. But it's so funny to like view the futuristic aspects, and it's crazy because like I was watching these old school effects happen with it versus like what I'm going to see now, and I think it just adds to the charm. And the music's fantastic. I mean, if you're a fan of rock music at all, it's going to be a blast. But again, both the characters are just so fun. The whole time travel premise is great, and yeah, I just like I was thinking about it today, and I would watch them again right now. It's just like I had such enjoyment with them.
Awesome.
Yeah, it seems like a fun little run of films that I'm definitely excited, especially when the new one comes out. It'd be a cool little trilogy to kind of binge for the first time.
Yeah, if we want to watch party anything, those are great. And it's also interesting because they actually just announced today that they're going to be doing a Comic-Con panel for Bill and Ted 3.
Oh, cool.
As
Oh, the
moderated,
virtual, yeah.
as moderated by Kevin Smith, which sounds fun. I'm currently working with some people on doing some Comic-Con stuff, so I'm probably going to cover that. But yeah, it's just
Ooh.
such fun stuff.
I keep thinking Bill and Ted is a Kevin Smith movie. Like that, it just seems like it's a Kevin Smith movie.
Yeah, it's not a Kevin Smith movie, but there are definitely characters that help fuel his Jay and Silent Bob.
Interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just like those buddy road
trip
stuff.
kind of movie. Yeah.
Yeah, through time. So yeah, it's just a great time, and I can't wait to honestly like rewatch them again and see the new one. They did a triple feature. I would be first in line. I don't know if they will in this age, but like if they wanted to, I'm there. So I think that about wraps up our show. It's a solid runtime. I didn't think we'd actually hit 2 hours, but then I talked about Rise of Skywalker. So
Skywalker, it will do that.
it'll do that. So yeah, we had fun here. Oh yeah, I forgot there's a whole outro. Yeah, so we had fun. Evan, where can they find you?
You guys can find me at HarrisEV9 on Twitter. I'm finishing up The Last of Us Part 2. I don't know how far I am into it. I might be towards the end. I have no idea, but I am loving the game. It is incredible. It is intense. It is emotional, but yeah, I'm loving it, and you can find me there.
Carson, where can they find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter at The Force Critic. Hopefully watching some new releases / catching up on some hot spots that I've missed in film history, aka the Bill and Ted duology, soon to be trilogy. But there's 2 of them right now, right? Hopefully,
yeah.
I get that right. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was fun. It's good to. I love just ranting about this stuff. It's fun to just replace yelling about AMC and all the theater stuff on a podcast, because we can kind of make rational sense out of it. But
Yeah,
I'm sure there'll be more news next week to talk about with theaters, and hopefully we can document our safe viewing experiences here in the next few weeks.
Yeah, and I don't know if it was any pertinent to you, but like out of fun, I actually looked up the box office numbers of Bill and Ted. And,
pretty low, right?
what?
Are they pretty low?
Well, it was interesting because like the first movie was made on $10 million and it made $40 million,
Oh, wow.
and then the second movie was made on $20 million and it made back $30 million.
Oof.
Yeah, it tends to be how it goes. But with the age break of nostalgia, the third one was fueled by fans. So I'm excited to see how that goes.
Just like Blade Runner was.
But it's good.
Oh,
But,
tragic.
so even if this bombs, it's supposed to be a finale anyway. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's interesting. Meanwhile, you can find me here stuck in a virtual theater trying to recapture the magic before we go back in like December. But yeah, I'm also playing Last of Us 2. I have the previous stream on my channel was a live stream that went very laggy and horrible, so I'm going to do pre-recorded stuff, and release episodes way better that way. And then I'll probably switch back to the old setup. We'll see what goes. Gotta get back into reactions to shows and all that. And I'm probably gonna check out something new like Good Time this week finally. So
Ooh.
that'll be fun. So from all of us,
It'll be a good time.
Oh yeah.
Get out of here.
I don't feel like it. We're about to leave. But, yeah, with that being said, if you did enjoy our broadcast, hit the like button, subscribe if not already. Catch us back here tomorrow for an episode of Hyperspace Hype, talking all things Star Wars. If you like that little snippet of us talking Star Wars. Little backdoor pilot of an already ongoing series.
No, gosh. Flashbacks them.
All right.
Dolby Herald or
Wrap us
something.
up. Wrap us up.
So that being said, if you enjoyed us, hit the like button, subscribe if not already. And that being said, I hope you have a great day, and may the force be with you always.